And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, we got a little bit of breaking news. Trump has banned a few countries from entering the USA, meaning if you come from a certain list of countries, you're not able to come to the USA. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, speaking about President Trump, Elon Musk does not like the big, beautiful bill too much. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got a bunch of Transformers, if you understand what I'm talking about, dominating track and field in high school. And that's not really a big deal, I suppose, but God forbid somebody celebrate too much. Get her out of here. Put her in the penitentiary. Big rocks, little rocks. So what about that big 6'5" man that got a whole wife and kids and chain smoke cigarettes every day? What about him? Why is he able to defeat me out here in this track field and I'm 15 years old in the 10th grade? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Colorado criminal migrant getting arrested, getting caught, and his whole family is in ICE custody. Well, the ones that were here with him, the wife and the kids. And what would be really funny is if the media tries to make this guy be a sympathetic figure like Kilmer Abrego Garcia. It's like, okay, you're talking about somebody here illegally, the whole family here illegally, and you set 8 people on fire, including an 88-year-old Holocaust survivor. I don't care if you go to the penitentiary or what. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, we got a whole lot going on. We got some breaking news too from Trump. He just put something out. I'll get to that in a minute. I will get to that in a minute, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. I got a whole lot of stuff coming up, a lot of things in the works, a lot of good things coming up. You guys shall see. I will keep you guys updated. I think I got maybe 4 or 5 podcasts they want me to go on in the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But I'll let you guys know exactly what's going on. And shout out to you guys who were on the Instagram Live last night. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. And if you guys don't know, if you didn't know before, I go live every Tuesday on the Instagrams from, I say, right around 9 o'clock Eastern to maybe 11 or something like that. I'll try to start it right around 9. It just depends. But yeah, I will definitely be going live every Tuesday on the Instagrams. It's a smaller audience. It's more intimate. We could talk. You know, you can probably communicate with me a lot easier over there because of the low volume. But shout out to everybody who was there last night on the Instagram. Really enjoyed myself on that one. Now, I would have posted it, but I don't know. My phone glitched. I don't know what happened. So it didn't let me post the replay. Or no, it did. It did. Okay, I see it now. It took long enough. It took a whole day to post. But shout out to you guys who were there. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with me. Alrighty. Now, we got so much stuff going on. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start. But hey, Elon Musk, I like Elon, but I think sometimes he oversteps his boundaries. I think he does. And that's not me trying to side with the left or anything like that. It's just a matter of sometimes people are wrong. Sometimes people do things and it's not always the 100% right thing. It don't matter if you love them or you hate them. Sometimes Joe Biden would do a right thing and they'll say, okay, Joe Biden did the right thing right there. Now, that might have been very uncommon. But I mean, it can happen. I mean, it's not every day you can just walk outside and you see it raining on one side of the street and dry on the other side, but it can happen, although rare. In the case of Elon Musk, I like a lot of what he does. I like how he has American companies making money here in America. Twitter is amazing since he took over. It is fantastic. I use Twitter a lot for a news resource. It is really, really good since he took over. He does a lot of things very well, but sometimes he may say a thing I don't always agree with. I understand the whole thing about the bill being bloated or whatever, but you got to understand, Elon Musk and anybody else, we got Democrats to have to work with as well. You have to, when you're talking about spending and stuff like that, you have to consider the other side. And if you don't, you can't get anything done. And I think that could be for better or for worse. It's good because it's good to have more than one opinion about a particular thing. You don't want to be a one-party state like China, because sometimes you're going to like what the one party does, but sometimes you're not. And what are you going to do about it? Nothing at all. So it's good to have opinions from both sides, although, of course, I'm going to lean right all the time. I'm going to be on the right all the time. I don't really see an example of when I would go to the left, but having them kind of be a counterbalance prevents the Republican Party from going too far into some strange territory. It's good to have that balance in the system, because like I said, the party can be good. If you have a one party, it could be good for a very long time. You like everything they do, and then they do a switch and you have no recourse. So overall, I think Elon Musk has a valid point about the bill being bloated, but at the same time, it's like, bro, we got to deal with the other side as well. Hopefully, once we get the bill finished and out there, it'll be good and it'll be of net benefit to the country, because a lot of what's in there is designed to really get us rocking and rolling. But let me say one thing. Some may ask me, hey, is there ever a time where you don't like something that happens in the government with Trump? I'll tell you one thing. They got to look into the JobCore situation. Now, I don't know if y'all know about JobCore, but JobCore is being shut down. Now, I understand why it's being shut down, because you're talking about a very low graduation rate, like what, 32%, 35% graduation rate. And there's a bunch of things that happen at JobCore, a lot of horror stories. You're talking about a lot of people getting sexually assaulted at JobCore, men and women, men getting assaulted by other men, women getting assaulted by other women and men. You also have drugs. You have violent crime. You have a lot of things happening at JobCore. And a lot of that is because of the kind of people that's there. A lot of people that's there at JobCore, like homeless, if not for JobCore, they'd be homeless. So I think you need to have something like that in this country, because if the purpose of JobCore is to get Americans into skilled trades, then that's a thing we're going to need anyway, because we're trying to import all these migrants to do the skilled trades for next to no money, where we could be training our American citizenry to do these trades. And the thing about it is we have to train our Americans, because if we cut off the migrants, it's going to be a shortage of the labor. It's going to be a shortage. And also, I think that cutting off the migrants will help those who already have the skills to be able to make money in a serious way. A lot of the migrants are going to just suppress the wages. It's a whole bunch of them, and they're easy to find, but they're going to be next to no money. For the Americans, it's fewer of us, and we're going to want more money, but I think we're often going to be more skilled. A lot of these migrants come into the country with no skills at all. It's just a body you could put right there. Okay, can you swing a hammer? Do you know what a nail is? Okay, hammer that piece of wood to that piece of wood, and that's your job. That's what they do. They're not really skilled laborers. You're not finding these skilled artisans that you think you are if you are on the left. But anyway, my point is, JobCore, they got to fix that. And maybe they need to shut it down, but you got to replace that with something to be able to get people kind of on the fringes into a skilled trade. And I think if you spent more money into that, then you could prevent them from going to the penitentiary. And that's not even the color thing. I know white guys are that went to JobCore, black guys are that went to JobCore. Okay, I couldn't name some names, but I ain't going to do that right now. Y'all, if y'all watching, shout out to you. But you got to just fix it rather than just saying, all right, never mind. But again, I do understand why it got shut down. Okay, 32% graduation rate, people getting assaulted, gunpoint. Then nobody got no time for that. It was Puff and JobCore. That's funny. Yeah, the whole Puff Daddy trial's been going crazy. I don't know. I think the whole thing with Puff, he has done some things, but now they're just kind of dogpiling, people trying to get money. The interviews have been crazy. I saw an interview with one of the guys from the Freak-Offs. I really kind of want the trial to wrap up. I'm tired of hearing about Freak-Offs and baby oil. I don't know about y'all, but let's wrap that trial up in about 42 hours. 42 hours, not 48, 42. It takes too long. We only got all day. 42 hours. Let the trial be wrapped up and move on with our lives. All right. But shout out to you. I appreciate it. Mr. D says we are in the one party system. Well, some would argue that you're correct. The Union Party, Washington, D.C., And that's why it's important to have two separate parties, because if we're all on the same page and there's no difference, then what's really going on? We just like China and everybody else. Backup says when ITT was around here, it was hood AF. Oh yeah, ITT Tech, all of that. I remember that. Yeah, I remember ITT Tech. But again, it's the people that's there. You're dealing with people that are about to be homeless, real hood people, can't read at 21 years old. You're dealing with them kind of people. So at a certain point, you got to do something with them. Either just send them to the penitentiary or try to get them some skilled trade. That's kind of how I look at it. That's how I look at it. All righty. But shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all. That's right, Optimus R. Hey, wrap that trial on up, put the bow on top. I don't want to hear about Cassie and baby oil or nothing like that. No more. No more at all. Okay, but I got a lot of things going on today. We got to talk about Karine Jean-Pierre. Hey, who do y'all think? Okay, I'm going to ask y'all a question. I'm not going to give you a poll or nothing like that right now, but I'm going to ask you a question. If I gave you two people to pick from who could run in 2028, who do you think would have the better chance than the other? Okay, out of these two people, don't try to add no third option. Don't try to not answer. Don't try to, be, hemming and hawing. Just give me the A or B. A, Jasmine Crockett, or B, Karine Jean-Pierre. Out of those two options, who has the best chance of running in 2028? I ain't talking about succeeding. I'm talking about being the Democratic Party's nominee. I don't think either one would win the election in the general against a Republican, but who do you think will get a nomination? Or who's more likely? Who has better chance? Who's best suited to get a nomination? Jasmine Crockett or Karine Jean-Pierre? A, Jasmine Crockett. B, Karine Jean-Pierre. Y'all let me know. Of course, Backup would do that. Yeah, see? Man, look, y'all like bad little kids. I'll tell you, hey, don't touch the stove. What are you gonna go do? Touch it. Put your hand right on it. You're gonna slap the stove because I told you not to do it. Anyway, no poll. Okay, so y'all think Jasmine Crockett for real? I'm seeing the split. See, now I gotta do a poll. Okay, now I gotta do a poll. Hold on. Let's just do a poll because I'm seeing some interesting responses. Okay. Who has a better chance of becoming the DNC 2028 nominee? All right. Well, I'll just say Democratic Party for the slow people. All right. So we're going to do what I said, Jasmine Crockett, Karine Jean-Pierre. All right, so the poll is up. Y'all can feel free to vote on that in the comments. All right, Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters about 1,000 years old, ain't she? I mean, good grief. These people, man. I mean, what is going on? How long must she be in office? You would think since if you were like Joe Biden, you've been in office since the 70s. You've been in office since civil rights movement. Okay, I think it's time for to move on and do something else. Why be in there for half a century with zero accomplishments? What's really going on? Okay. Yes, I know there's a misspelling in the come on, man. We don't even gotta let's not even anyway. Let's not even do that. 2028, not 2020, whatever I put right there, all these extra numbers. But if you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Hold on. The Bald Brad says, ABL, you think Jasmine is hot? Viewers thought I was crazy for thinking she looks good. She is crazy, but she looks good. She doesn't look bad. She looks okay when she's done up and whatnot. Sometimes I see her, she got that Biggie Smalls lazy eye. One looking at you, the other one looking somewhere else. You don't know what's going on. You want to talk to her, hold a conversation. You don't know what to do. You're trying to look, and one eye is looking kind of straight ahead, but the other one is kind of distracting. So it's like, okay, do I look at that one or this one? But anyway, she's not bad looking, but Karine Jean-Pierre looks better. And Big Mike doesn't have it. Kamala looked better than them when she was younger, but not so much anymore. And Kamala, She was so bad. They might as well have ran Karine Jean-Pierre because Kamala was so terrible. It was a mess. It was really a mess. Hey, man, that eye going, one is looking straight ahead at you, and the other one is off doing his own thing. The other one is just kind of ignoring you. You understand what I'm saying? So if you could look past that, she has a nice, you know what I mean, situation beyond that. Okay. But if you like what you're hearing, you know the drill. Before I go any further into it, I'll let the poll stay up there so y'all can decide who has a better chance of becoming a nominee in 2028, Jasmine Crockett or Karine Jean-Pierre. And I don't think it's going to be anybody else that could actually run. AOC, they might try AOC. It's going to be a woman, 100%, because they don't have any men. They're going to try to trot out my man. What's my man? Yum, Fang, Eric Swalwell. They're going to try to trot him out. I got a video of him on the Breakfast Club I'll get to in a minute. They're going to try to trot him out, but he's too goofy. He's about as goofy as AOC is. And Tampon Tim, obviously, goofy. A party full of goofy individuals that nobody takes seriously. The only ones that do take seriously are some of the women, including an AOC, Jasmine Crockett, and Karine Jean-Pierre. And the ultimate guy they really want is Lord Gavin, Emperor Gavin. They want him, but I'm not quite sure he's really wanting to stop being the Emperor of California. Hold on. Ball Bread says Gavin Newsom is in the pipeline for 2028. Yes, I know he is in the pipeline, but I'm not quite sure he's going to want to run. He kind of reminds me of Big Mike, Michelle Obama. It's like she would be good as well, but she doesn't want to run. We'll see. We'll see how the whole thing goes. Q1 says no, it's going to be Gavin Newsom. Jasmine already insinuated it. Well, I think she thinks that it's going to be him, but I don't think that it's going to be her. So maybe her excuse is it's going to be the white man. What would be funny is that if it wasn't the white man and it was another black woman, that'd be hilarious. Anyway, shout out to you guys. Before I go any further, before I get to some breaking news from Trump as far as a travel ban, y'all know how I do. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to you guys, of course, first for watching the video, but also shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link, as always, will be in the description, or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, the t-shirts, the stickers, the hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Again, link will always be in the box. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook. And shout out to the Facebook people. You guys are really, really great. Facebook is jumping. I have a good community over there. And I got people that hit me. They're hitting me up. It's like, hey, man, we're seeing your stuff on Facebook. Let's do X, Y, and Z. So if you're watching on Facebook, if you watch me normally on Facebook, welcome to the show. I appreciate you for doing your thing. But Facebook, Instagram, and shout out to the IG crew. A lot of y'all over there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok, which I hate. All my links for those social media platforms will be in the description. TikTok sucks. It really does. You can't do nothing over there. They real strict. They real strict. You know what? I put up a video on TikTok about the Transformer track athletes. And they flat me talking about hate speech. I'm like, hate speech? Where's the hate speech? I ain't say no F words. I ain't say no curse words. All I said was, okay, you got this biological male who's really, not a woman. He's a biological male competing against women. How is that fair? How does that make sense? And they flat me. Now, I got it reinstated, but it's like, man, I ain't trying to have to keep fighting flags like back in the adpocalypse era of YouTube. Don't nobody got no time for that. Yeah, TikTok sucks. Okay, China can keep that for real. They can keep that. Facebook, Instagram, much better than TikTok in my humble opinion. But anyway, all my links will be on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on the interwebs or not, just go to the contact page and check the method of communication. If it's not on there, if the social media is not on there you're talking to, if the email's not on there you're talking to, it's not me. My email is very easy to remember. It's contact@anthonyblogan.com. If you're talking that 1,000-digit WhatsApp number or some janky Gmail address talking about their ABL, send them 5,000 Naira on an Apple iTunes gift card, it's not me. I promise. Okay. I know I might look like I could be West African or something like that, but I don't got nobody over there. Okay. So if you're getting a phone call from a 314 country code, it's not me. I promise it's not. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I got a lot in store for y'all tonight. First things first. Okay. We have a travel ban. Many countries, their nationals are going to be banned from traveling here. All right. And this is going to come on the heels of the Boulder, Colorado attack, in which a guy from Egypt basically firebombed 8 people. What he had was like a spray bottle full of alcohol, and he was lighting it up with a lighter. So that was an improvised blowtorch. And he hit 8 people, including an 88-year-old Holocaust survivor, with that. So his intent was to impact a lot of Jewish people on his own. A mess. But again, here's Trump talking about the new travel ban on certain countries. Check it out.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them. In the 21st century, we've seen one terror attack after another carried out by foreign visa overstayers from dangerous places all over the world. And thanks to Biden's open door policies, today there are millions and millions of these illegals who should not be in our country. In my first term, my powerful travel restrictions were one of our most successful policies, and they were a key part of preventing major foreign terror attacks on American soil. We will not let what happened in Europe happen to America. That's why on my first day back in office, I directed the Secretary of State to perform a security review of high-risk regions and make recommendations for where restrictions should be imposed. Among the national security threats their analysis considered are the large-scale presence of terrorists, failure to cooperate on visa security, inability to verify travelers' identities, inadequate record-keeping of criminal histories, and persistently high rates of illegal visa overstays, and other things. Very simply, we cannot have open migration from any country where we cannot safely and reliably vet and screen those who seek to enter the United States. That is why today I am signing a new executive order placing travel restrictions on countries including Yemen, Somalia, Haiti, Libya, and numerous others. The strength of the restrictions we're applying depends on the severity of the threat posed. The list is subject to revision based on whether material improvements are made, and likewise, new countries can be added as threats emerge around the world. But we will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm, and nothing will stop us from keeping America safe. Thank you very much.
All right, there we go. Now I have a list. I do have a list. Okay. Let's go ahead and put it up right here. So we have Afghanistan, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, however you want to say it, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. All right, so those are all the countries right there. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you're able to check it out. You can even screenshot that, send it to your crazy uncle, whoever you want to send it to. Those are going to be the countries that are part of the travel restrictions. And again, he said because We got dangerous people. We can't really verify who you are. Some of their procedures in their home countries are not very safe. So that's kind of just how it is. That's just what's going on. Alrighty. So there we go. What do y'all think? Good move, bad move, somewhere in between? What's your opinion about the new travel ban from Donald Trump? And again, that just came across my timeline right as the show started, right around 8 o'clock tonight. It just came across us hot off the presses right there. All right, hot off the presses. What about Pangea? Well, a judge overruled this. Hey, they're going to try to fight it. They try to fight whatever he does. I'm not quite sure they'll be able to actually fight that, but they're going to try to fight it. Okay. What about in China? That's kind of a pie in the sky right there, because we need China. We need China and they need us. Venezuela, yes, because how many of the Trinidad Agua people are coming across from Venezuela? So many gang members is ridiculous. Out of control. What did Burundi do? I don't know. I think it might be because they don't have adequate security over there. So what can happen with a place like Burundi is people that come from other countries go through Burundi and use their system to get visas to come over here. And now you end up importing terrorists because they're not really from Burundi. And if you guys don't know where Burundi is, that's in Central Africa, right next to DR Congo, which is also on the list. Or not DR, it's Oro Congo, which is in the same area. But Congo's right there. Then you have Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, all of that is right there. Lake Victoria, that particular area. And that might be considered East Central Africa, I suppose. And Burundi also is not that far from Sudan, which is also on the list. So you might got some of them Sudanese terrorists to come across, go to Burundi, get a fake visa, come to America, potentially, perhaps. I'm just kind of spitballing, and that's my opinion about it, but we'll see. We shall see. Okay, now check it out. I want to get to some of these videos I saw. Now, shout out to Malik Snaps. You guys, please follow him on the Instagrams. This interaction was totally crazy. You can see his comment. Man in bull mask shares his opinion on how President Donald Trump is a corrupt president, claiming that he's suffering from dementia. And you can see my comment. I was like, he was wearing that for real. It's not AI. And you may be asking, hey, ABL, what were you referring to when you asked him, was he wearing that for real? You're going to see this guy's outfit, and it's going to make all the sense in the world why he is adamantly against President Trump. Check it out.
Trump is a corrupt politician.
His ability to think is compromised. I do think that he is genuinely suffering from dementia. I don't think he's a good politician, but I do think he's a good salesman. What he sold to this country is hate and this idea that he's a good businessman while at the same time plunging us into a recession.
Do you think Trump is a corrupt politician?
His ability to...
This is a real person wearing a real thing. Now, I've seen some of these AI videos where they got people that look like they're humanoid, but they got them in different type of, okay, AI will make one guy look like a rhinoceros, or shout out to Monique for that one. Have a guy in the fish outfit, but it'll be AI, it wouldn't be real. This guy really went out there wearing a bull costume. I'm talking about, and it's kind of complex because it's down to his chest. It's like hair on his chest. You probably got a real bull ring in your nose. Look at this. Look at that. Bro. So why would I take you seriously sitting here in the bull outfit? And I think really what he's saying right there, he's just scared because things are changing and he doesn't like it. Things are changing and he doesn't like it. So this is his way of trying to express himself with the bull outfit. All right. Now, look, I don't care what the situation is. You're not going to see ABL on TV wearing no bull outfit. That ain't going on. We are not going to do that. You're not going to see no fake taco meat connected to a mask. That's not what's going to go on. And somebody said coward, hilarious, bullish, hilarious, very funny. Hey, shout out to Malik Snaps. He the one that recorded the guy. I don't know how he found him. It's not me. I just happened to follow him already, and then that video came across my timeline. Alrighty. Now we have another young lady. She has a message to MAGA. Let's watch.
You know what I wish for every one of you MAGA fucks? Nothing more, nothing less than the same standards and consequences that you have imposed on my life. That's all I want. I want you to have the same dish you fucking serve to me.
Okay, now what dish is that? Like, I don't understand. And sorry for the cussing. Y'all know how they do. They can't talk without cussing. But what dish is that? I mean, are you on the street? Do you smoke crack for a living? I don't really get it. Maybe you're trying to say that we all have to wear those big blue glasses you got on. I don't really think that's going to be a thing that I'm really worried about. It's all right, man. Like, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. The Trump derangement syndrome, look, you'll be totally fine. Okay, but now here's some questions. This person has questions for conservatives. And at this point, I say this person, this individual, this character, because I can't tell sometimes whether we got a male or a female. I presume we're dealing with a woman right here, but who knows? Anyway, this person has questions for conservatives. Let's watch.
Okay, but if the argument is if we give poor people housing and healthcare and food and the basic needs to survive, they won't have any incentive to work anymore if their basic needs are met.
Okay, so here's my question to you. How many people have you housed? How many illegals have you housed? How many people have you fed? How much money have you donated to charity? Or better yet, how much money have you donated to the government? Because you can't do that while filing taxes. You want everyone else to pay higher taxes, but yet you refuse to pay more of your own taxes. Almost as if it's not real. All liberal empathy is fake and gay. It doesn't really exist. It all exists with a threat of violence at the barrel of a gun. Because the moment you stop paying your taxes to the IRS so that some homeless guy in California should be able to buy more crack, then that's when they come down and arrest you and throw you in prison at the barrel of a gun and the threat of violence. Liberal empathy can only exist through the threat of violence. If you do not do what the rest of the group is doing or what the rest of the group compels you to do, then you are no longer part of the group. You're an evil person and therefore you are a Nazi, a bigot, a racist, and all the other words, and you need to be thrown in prison. That is liberal empathy. That's every single time. All of liberal empathy is fake and gay. It doesn't exist.
Hey, man, hey. Right on, right on. Now, I'm going to add a little bit to what he said about the whole thing of her original point was, well, why is it a bad thing for basic needs to be met? Define basic needs. What does that really mean? That's not going to be the same thing for everybody. It reminds me of the whole 5 for 15. Well, this person might want 15 an hour, but that person might want 30 an hour. And they both have the same exact reason why. I got to take care of my basic needs. Someone's quote unquote basic needs might be 18 kids and 3 baby mamas. Another guy could just want to take care of himself. So who's right or who's wrong as far as what basic needs are? At the end of the day, you got to go out there and work. If the government just provides you with everything, your incentive to work is zero. And society can't function like that because at the end of the day, money comes from people paying taxes, contributing to the tax base, working, being productive, doing things. If there's no money to be able to spend, then how are you going to get it? It makes no sense. Only in America are people so entitled to the government's money to have an easy life where they do nothing and still get paid for it. Only in America is that a reality. Maybe Canada, potentially, maybe like Australia. I don't know. Some of the Western countries, maybe some of them, but really only in America is that really a thing that people talk about. Oh, give me this, give me that while I do nothing. That's not how society works. Everybody got to contribute. And if you don't, then you just kind of in the way. You're in the way unless you're disabled or elderly or something like that. But if you're able-bodied, young person, you can go out there and work. If you're able to go out there and work and you don't, you're just a waste of space. Simple as that. If you could find a way to quote unquote not work and still make money without relying upon the government, then God bless you. But if not, then you got to go out there and get it. Very simple. Okay. So this guy here is going to brag about Kamala supporters, Kamala voters feeling smarter than everybody else right now. I'm going to ask you guys this question. Do you think Kamala voters are smart? Do you think they were smart to make that decision to vote for her? Was that a smart thing to do or a not so smart thing to do? Let's watch my man right here.
All of us who voted for Kamala Harris look smarter and smarter every single day. All of us who voted.
Okay, now I thought it was more than that, but smarter how though, bro? Smarter in what way? A lot of what people say who support Kamala and support Democrats, they say they're smarter than conservatives, but are you really? Are you really? Because Democrats are so dumb, they put Kamala in there as a vice president knowing she was terrible, knowing she couldn't talk, knowing that she had about 3 brain cells left in the head. Why would you put her right there when you know the day is going to come where she has to run? Joe Biden was already done before he became the president in 2020. He was already finished. He was already worn out, diminished, get ready to go to the bed and just sit there forever. They knew he couldn't do 2 terms. He could not run for 2 terms. They knew that. Even in the first time he had the whole basement strategy where he just stayed down there in the basement, did podcasts and Zoom calls, no campaigning. Oh, my COVID, whatever. They did that in 2020, but they couldn't do it in 2024. And they knew they wouldn't be able to do it, but they still put her right there, not really caring about having to run her in the future. They kick the can down the road. No foresight. I want to win right now. I want to succeed right now. I don't care about 4 years from now. That's your Democratic Party. Is that a very smart way to go about it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Harry Potter said so. Harry Potter said so. Hilarious. Shout out to that's Harold Potter. That's Harry after he didn't got married and had kids. All right. So we have some liberal white women talking about politics. I'm not sure where they are. College campus, party, something like that. Let's see what they got to say about politics and Orange Man and whatnot. Check it out.
Education right now.
Trump's trying to cut the Department of Education and give the money directly to the school systems because they know the students better than the federal government.
The school systems don't know the government, don't know. Well, they do know the people better than the federal government. Well, they do know the people better than the federal government. Why is the federal government cutting it? Because the school systems do know better.
Okay.
That's what Trump's saying is that give the money to the school systems that are local.
He's not giving the fucking money to the school systems.
Well, not yet because they haven't done it yet.
The federal government is spending more money per student than governments in Europe, right?
Yeah, about $17,000 per student per year.
We spend more. But the question is, who gets to determine where the money gets to go? Administrators that decide where the money gets to go. Not the teachers who work directly with the teachers.
That's what Trump's saying, though. That's why he wants to cut the Department of Education.
But here's the thing.
But the money's not going anywhere.
Well, they haven't cut it yet.
Should we be cutting the money or should we just be spending it in different areas?
When you say cutting, you mean lowering the money available? No, they don't want to do that. They want to cut the Department of Education.
What do they do? I haven't heard of this. All of their federal funding has been cut.
For public schools?
For Harvard.
It's a private university. That's not a public school. These are 2 different things.
I don't fucking care.
Well, there's difference. Like public companies, private companies, public school, private school.
And you know what? That was a pretty good breakdown by my man. He was trying to explain it to him, but
when cutting,
they were just getting offended, getting upset, cussing and stuff like that. Hey, look, if I'm debating you, a little bit of game for the young guys out there, especially if I'm debating you and you start cussing and getting emotional, already win. If we're having a debate, see, I don't curse at all. If you curse, I win. I'm gonna have a big smile, big Cheshire cat grin ear to ear if you start cussing. I know you already got frustrated, but they just weren't really getting what he was saying. He's like, look, we're not going to be taking monies from you. We're going to empower you to use this money in a better way rather than the federal government trying to dictate to you what you got to do. That's the issue, because a lot of that federal monies would come with stipulations and things that don't make sense for the local school system. The local people know what their kids need more than anything else. And as far as how much we spend, listen, the dollar amount we spend for these schools is not always, it's not necessarily going to equal a good result. Baltimore, prime example, they spend $15,000 per student on average, which is the 3rd most out of any U.S. public school system. $15,000, but yet you got kids that can't read. These kids can't read at all when they graduate. Illiterate. I covered this story many years ago of that boy that had a 0.3 a 0.13 or 0.16 GPA, and he was ranked 60 out of 120 in his class. A 0.13 or 0.16, a 0.1 point something GPA, he's ranked in the center of his class, which means you have 59 more people that are worse than that. Yet we spend $15,000 per pupil in Baltimore on average. Why? For what? For what? And it's not going to the kids that are in better schools because they go into private schools. Okay? That's just what that is. Hold on. The Bald Brad Show. Remember ABL, I am a teacher. The stuff I see is wow. I can imagine y'all see some crazy things for sure. Matter of fact, there was a video of a guy that had a whole bunch of absences. Hold on. Yeah, there's a bunch of absences. Okay. I'm gonna play it right now. This guy, put it on the screen right here. Look at this. 400 absences, 6 failed classes, still graduating. Anyone can do it. All right, we got music going on, but you see what's happening here. Okay, 400 absences, 6 failed classes, still graduating. For what? What's the point in graduating? You might as well just drop out. I mean, they're giving you a degree for no reason. And at this point, if that's a degree that you get, if you get a degree with that going on, some may say he's trolling or whatever. I showed y'all the incident in Baltimore where the boy had a 0.13 GPA and was still probably going to graduate. Still probably going to graduate. See, that right there, what's the point in having a Department of Education with that kind of stuff going on? You see, now it's starting to kind of sink in, right? Now it's starting to kind of sink in. Now, to speak more about education, this is going to be Charlie Kirk at a college campus. And this person is talking about why Clarence Thomas is a bad guy. Okay, we all know Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court Justice, the triple OG, one of the best to ever do it. She says he's a bad guy. Let's hear why she says he's a bad guy. All righty, let's watch.
Let's say there's a black kid right now. Would you rather have that black kid have a role model be Kendrick Lamar or Clarence Thomas?
Kendrick, obviously.
Not the black American on the United States Supreme Court.
No, he's trying to ban interracial marriage. He's trying to do all.
Wow. No, he's in an interracial marriage.
So, I mean, that right there, Kendrick Lamar. Hey, one thing about the white liberals, they love them at Kendrick Lamar. Oh, they love him. That's their man. Okay, I've seen so many TikToks. They not like us. And I'm seeing all type of, Starbucks cups flying everywhere. I'm seeing blondes and brunettes and everything. I'm like, man, they love that dude. They love him. But listen, trying to ban interracial marriage, where'd you even get that from? You just made that up right now. He's literally married to a white lady and been married to her since the beginning of time. When did Clarence Thomas get married? Hold on. I'm going to just look it up right quick just to make sure that I'm not saying the wrong thing. He's been married since 1987. You're talking about almost 40 years. Almost 40 years. To Virginia Thomas. Okay. So what are we talking about here? 1987, since right around the time of Michael Jackson being at his peak of popularity, he's been married to the same person. So I don't... where'd you even get that from? I don't really get it. Hold on. Let me end this poll right here. It's kind of in the way. So my poll was, who has a better chance of becoming a Democrat Party 2028 presidential nominee? Jasmine Crockett or Karine Jean-Pierre? Jasmine Crockett has won 57% of the vote. Karine Jean-Pierre got 42% of the vote. Okay. So pretty interesting. A lot of y'all think it'll be Jasmine Crockett. That's kind of surprising, actually. I'm a little teeny bit surprised at that result, but that's interesting. Very, very interesting. Hold on. Richard says, so basically you're getting a degree in social crime. I believe they do not have no jobs for that unless you want to work for Pinocchio News. Right on. TR says Baltimore public schools closer to 28 to 31,000. Wow. Investigate all NGO didn't even include the overreach in health or deaths of kids, violence prevention programs. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. $28,000 to $31,000 per student. Yet you got kids that can't read at all that graduate. Kids that don't even go to school but graduate. Yet we spend $30,000. If the kid's not going to school, then why is that much money being spent? Why must we spend so much money to have a kid that doesn't even go to school? It's a mess. It's a total mess.
Happy Pride.
All right. So this person right here is upset that Target has changed their ways because Target, aka Target, and the reason why I call it Target is because it's bougie. It's a bourgeoisie Walmart. So I call it Target. Anyway, there was a controversy because of the LGBT stuff they pushed for a long time. We say, you know what? No more. Y'all keep pushing the LGBT. Y'all got children's clothing with chest binders in it. This is way over the top. This is too much. You guys got to change. So they have changed, but some people don't like the change. Let's watch.
Happy Pride Month. In my Target that used to have the Pride section, it's now all USA. Yay. It's an American summer. Except for tourism, because tourism's down because no one wants to come here. USA, woo! And honestly, my dad serves in the military, and I'd love to be really proud of this nation, but it's hard to be proud of it under Donald Trump. But hey, you know, while you're here, pick up a USA bikini. You know, why not? Yeah, Target's really taken this anti-DEI thing to another level. Happy Pride.
Okay, now we're talking about DEI. That's funny. But listen, at the end of the day, we living in America, right? What's the problem? Are you upset that there's American pride in America? If you go to any other nation on planet Earth, they're going to have pride in their own nation. Mexico, they're going to have all their stuff, their flags, the Day of the Dead. They're going to have all of their cultural things all over the place because why not? It's their country. Why wouldn't they do that? They should do that. Any country you go to, they're going to be proud of their country. Why are we supposed to be hateful toward our own country? And your dad was in the military? How dare you get on this internet and speak this way? How dare you do that? Is he still alive? If he dead, he in the grave rolling. He in the grave rolling. My dad was in the military too. I got the flag downstairs from the funeral. If I get on here and talk about the military and the USA sucks, all that kind of stuff, he'd be in the grave rolling around. So yeah. Hey, Target, good thing. No more LGBT, none of that type of stuff. USA, I like that. 100%. That is a great change. Okay, now, what we have right here is also a thing that I like. I like this kind of person speaking. What we have right here is a real bull dagger. Okay, this right here is an authentic bull dagger. You ever have Chipotle or something like that? Shout out to Chipotle. I go there a lot. Nothing against them. But matter of fact, not Chipotle, because I ain't trying to. Taco Bell versus an authentic Mexican restaurant. It's night and day. Taco Bell is like garbage on the ground compared to an authentic Listen, I want the Padres. I want the Abuelita, Los Hermanos in the back cooking it up. Okay. I want them slaving over the stove 24/7 making that authentic Mexican food. If they don't have that, I don't want it. Same thing here. An authentic bull dagger. I don't want no TikTok, indoctrinated, confused Elliot Page, chest binders. I don't want that. I want a real bull dagger who understands, yes, I look masculine, I look dudeish, but I'm still a woman. Check it out.
I was misgendered yesterday. A little girl at the mall, she was maybe 5 years old, sitting in a wagon, kept staring at me. So I made eye contact, and she said, "Are you a girl or a boy?" Her mom started to go, "Oh my God, we accept everyone. That's so rude. You can't say that." And I laughed, and I bent down on her level, and I said, "That's okay. It's confusing sometimes. I'm a girl. I just really like boys' clothes. They're pretty comfy." She got all excited, and she said, "I'm a girl too." And I gave her a high five. I said, isn't it so great being a girl? I love being a girl. She said, yeah, that's my brother. He's a brother because he's a boy. So I said, you're right. Brothers are boys and sisters are girls. There's only boys and girls. If you're born a girl, you're a girl. I was born a girl. I can almost see the release of air coming from her mother's body and just the ultimate sigh of relief that I wasn't going to be indoctrinating her child or teaching her child something that maybe she didn't want her to know. I continued to talk to the little girl about her brother and her very cute dog, who was also a girl. I said, I hope you have a great day, and I went about my business. That is how you address gender to children. You don't. That is how you empower little girls and let them know that it's okay to be a girl who dresses however you want without having to change your gender. That is how you avoid confusing children, especially children that aren't your own, and projecting your bullshit on them because you might be offended that they use the wrong pronoun.
There we go. Hey. Yeah. Hey, that's how you do it right there. That's how you do it. Like, people like that, I respect them all the time. Like, cause they're not trying to be a man. They're not trying to do all this extra stuff. People like that have always existed. Kind of like more masculine women have always existed, and it's okay. It's like, you're just kind of masculine. It's totally fine. But why try to be a man? Why try to put on a chest? Why go the Elliot Page route? Ellen Page, whatever the name is. Why go that route? Why not just be you? You're not the typical woman, but it's okay. You're still a woman at the end of the day. If a man is feminine, he's wearing certain outfits or whatever, it's okay. Because not every guy's going to be super masculine like that. But when you say that you are a little girl, you're 6 years old, you're a girl trying to compete against other girls in high school track, stuff like that. Now we got a problem. Now you're doing something else. Now you're taking your feminine or masculine nature and weaponizing it against people. And I don't like that. So yeah, exactly, Pat. Just be a regular bull dagger. Be a regular bull dagger. It's totally fine. It is okay. I don't got nothing against them. I respect them for just being true to themselves and not trying to impose their way of life upon the other people. And I also appreciate them not pushing forward the LGBTQ agenda onto kids, which is very popular nowadays for some particular reason. Okay, now, this is over in UK. We have green activists dressing up as bugs in a city council meeting. All right, hold on. And this kind of stuff right here is what happens when you get indoctrinated, in my opinion. You're going to go to a city council meeting dressed as a bug. Let's watch.
I am a butterfly. I am here to represent all the insects.
I am the foxglove, and I represent all the wildflowers. I am nettle, and I am here because we have been misunderstood.
This is an interspecies democracy meeting, so it's a theatrical council meeting. We are inviting people to represent non-human residents of Southampton, and they are going to put forward questions and motions as you would in a council meeting. So we're exploring what it means to understand the perspectives of our non-human neighbours in the city.
Nowadays we so often feel as though we're surviving rather than thriving. We notice that pollinating flowers are sometimes cut within an inch of their lives, and we cannot understand what benefit you humans seek by killing these flowers.
So what do y'all think? The interspecies meeting, what do y'all think? Is it a good thing to hear from a human being dressed as a bee or a butterfly or a mushroom? Hold on. There were some interesting ones. Okay, we got a mushroom right there. Is that a deer? I suppose right here. Okay, we got a deer, a wildflower, a mushroom, a little bit of everything. Okay. They probably spent all night on them projects. All night. Night before it's like a school project. This reminds me when I was a little kid going to school and you gotta like put like some kind of Christmas kind of costume or some kind of, hey, when you tell your mom the night before the project is due that you need poster board, glue, glitter, all of that. Okay. And you go to school looking like this. That's going to be the end result of what you do. So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to the humans dressed as bees, butterflies, mushrooms, deer, flowers, all that kind of good stuff. All right. Boomhauer said, does this make you want to date a white woman? Shout out to the white women. All right. ABL don't discriminate. Hey, if you're looking like Melania Trump and you're not a nut job, then we good money. But if you're looking like this, hey, if you're looking like this, I can't do nothing for you. Whether you black, white, Puerto Rican, the Canyon stripe. Because I ain't trying to see that one day. I'm coming home. I've been outside doing whatever, golfing, and I come home to this costume. I'm good. Don't worry about it. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, we got more. Speaking about crazy people, we already knew this, though. This ain't really no revelation. You can see the mental health for us as conservative versus the liberals. You can see the mental health discrepancy. Hold on, let me put it in a better way here so you can see it. See the whole thing. Okay.
Conservative political views, 51 to 45% when it comes to excellent versus poor.
Yeah. So 51% of conservatives have excellent mental health compared to 45% of liberals with poor mental health. Only 19% of liberals have excellent mental health. Okay. Only 19. Hold on. No. Yeah. Only 20% have mental health as far as liberals. 20%. Okay. It's not very good. But no surprise. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. We've seen it over and over again, how they are on that side. Now, this is going to be the Tara Paul Mary show. I don't know who that is. If I know who it is, let me know in the comments. But she has on Scott Jennings, who dominates a lot of these panels on CNN with a lot of the leftists. And they're speaking about a similar thing. What's happening right now with the left. Let's see what they got to say, shall we?
The left has a problem with violence. It is in its heart right now.
I don't think it is only the left. I mean, you have literally seen people on both sides committing violence. I think that the problem is not the left. I think it is the extremes on both sides of the party. And that is what's happening. Like they're the loudest voices, whether the leaders want them or not. And they're the ones who tend to be the most violent. I don't think that's fair to say it's only the left. I mean,
but why is it happening? Why do late night comedians go on TV and encourage or coddle or give lip service to this vandalism of what went on with Tesla dealerships and so on? Why are there so many prominent people?
People didn't
like,
get hurt.
I totally get why Luigi Mangione was murdered. Like, why? I don't
listen. I'm not for vandalism, but like
it's more than that. They firebomb these things. Like it's obviously
it's dangerous, but it's happening on both sides.
On both sides, where like all they gonna say is January 6th, which is nothing. How is it happening on both sides, Miss Lady?
What person on the right is committing violence today?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, when you're in power, you don't tend to be the ones that are.
Now you want to switch. Okay, first it was both sides. Now it's, when you're in power, you're not really going to be the one committing the violence. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
That. But I think after they lost the election in 2020.
There you go.
There was
what I tell you, J6 is all they got many years ago. But meanwhile, liberals are doing things every single day. Every single day. Some idiot nut job doing something they shouldn't be doing on the left. Or it might have been the guy who was let in by the left during Joe Biden, as in the Boulder, Colorado attack. This guy came in during Joe Biden, overstayed his visa, was granted all kind of stuff, and then he goes out and does what he does.
Mob, and a person died, and it was a riot at the Capitol. It was crazy.
It was a terrible day, and it should not have happened.
It was a horrible day,
and it's not the only example. Let me just check my calendar, and it was 5.5 years ago.
Can we also talk about the fact that someone broke into Nancy Pelosi's house and violently beat up her husband?
You're saying that homeless drug addict is a conservative?
Well, I mean,
exactly. Like the dude with the hammer, and look, man, I'm no conspiracy theorist, and shout out to Scott for the look. Scott is a funny guy. I like him a lot. But look, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I'm saying, who was that guy for real? David DePape, the dude with the hammer that hit up Paul Pelosi. Who was that guy for real? Anyway, so yeah, but I'm not totally sure who that guy was. But what I do know is that he was not a conservative. That's just not what that was at all. So you got to go all the way back to 2021 2020, whenever that was, J6. It's been years. It's been years, but y'all do stuff every single day. And you're right about that, Ball Brad. Scott is single-handedly keeping CNN alive. Without him, they would have been dead. They would have been dead. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Like the whole J6 thing, I couldn't care less about that. Who cares? That's not even really a thing that matters. It's a long time ago. People on the left do things all the time, consistently, and it's like, whatever. No big deal. Here's an example. Okay, here's an example. Hold on. Okay, now no sound because I know you heard that sound way too much in your life, but you see the Cybertruck right here with the Nazi spray paint on it. I mean, come on. What's the problem? So I just happened to be in Chicago. It appears to be a pretty nice area. And because you're mad that I have a Cybertruck, you want to vandalize me? That kind of thing happens all the time. And you know it's not conservatives doing it. You know it's not conservatives doing it. It's them. They always burn stuff up, tear things apart, attack people physically. They do all kinds of stuff, but they say, hey, it's you guys who are the problem because of a thing that happened years ago with a bunch of feds and normies taking a guided tour through the Capitol, in which one person was killed and it wasn't even anybody who was supposedly being attacked. Okay. So it's a mess. Yeah, I did see that. Hold on, Boomhauer. What was that? Cory Booker during the funny mustache guy wave. I saw that. And it's funny how they just totally ignore it. Okay, it's funny how they totally ignore this. Look at this. And remember, Elon Musk was drugged through the mud incessantly because they said, oh, he's a Nazi. He threw a Nazi salute at the inauguration, all this, that, and the third. They say that about Elon Musk. Cory Booker right here does the exact same thing, and it's crickets. It's crickets when he does the exact same thing. Let's watch. Matter of fact, let's get a better view so you're able to see the whole thing. How is it different? Because Elon made a face while he's doing it. Is that what's going on? I see it as the exact same. Matter of fact, hold on. And they're trying to they're trying to say it's different in the comments, but how? It's only different because Cory Booker is a Democrat. That's the only difference. And Elon Musk is linked to Trump. That's the only difference. So yeah, shout out to Cory Booker. Shout out to Elon. It's funny how things are seen depending upon who does it. Now, this guy, remember, is the guy who did the attack in Colorado. They say he's here illegally from Egypt, and his wife and kids were also here illegally, and they are in ICE custody. So I said, bravo to ICE. Hey, get the mama, the daddy, the dog, the kids, the pawpaw. If they're here illegally, get them all out. Because your guy, the leader of your home, went out and committed a terror attack on American soil, and he had been planning it for a long time. So for real, I might try to see if y'all knew about this beforehand. If you are with him, I presume the majority of the time, and he was planning the attack for like a year, how did you not know? Let's watch some of this.
We're here, brother. We're here. We can't do nothing about that. We can't do nothing. We can. Not here. You have to end Zionist. Not here, bro. You're not.
You are taking video right now.
You have to end Zionist.
He was wearing an orange suit with like something on his back.
And you guys are hilarious in the comments talking about too many falafels. He did not walk like an Egyptian. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are hilarious. And somebody asked a question. I'm going to turn the sound down and let it play. As he was spraying alcohol on people and trying to set them on fire, somebody is saying, hey, why was nobody carrying? That stopped it right there. That was my thought process. It's like, look, but you know what? Hold on. as I say that, you can see what's happening right here. You see that big LGBT flag. You already know what time it is. You're in Boulder, Colorado. You're getting into the California expat territory. They might not like guns too much up there, potentially, perhaps. And that's why nobody was armed. If it's me, yeah, I got that thing on me. And you want to act up, you want to do something to somebody? All right, man. Well, look, double tap, boom, boom, pew, pew. And ain't no more improvised flamethrower action going on. You're not going to spray no alcohol on me and light me up. We're not going to do that without a fight. So you're correct, whoever said that. If someone was carrying, all this would have been stopped and there would be nothing else going on. Okay. Now, speaking about carrying, here is Captain Hairplugs himself, Jamie Raskin. And Jamie Raskin, bro, you got to be the worst kind of human being on planet Earth. You talking about, oh, I got cancer, so I got to wear this Aunt Jemima, Harriet Tubman, little do-rag bandana on your head, looking like my man from, I don't know. Anyway, you wearing this little contraption on your head, talking about I got cancer. Meanwhile, you were hiding hair plugs, and the hair plug treatment it didn't really stick. I'm seeing a little bit of recession. You did all of that faking the cancer to get hair plugs for what? Anyway, here he is talking about gun control after the Colorado incident.
Across the country, we are still in the midst of a gun violence epidemic. So we need to be acting with due concern for human life. I mean, this is why, of course, we have been fighting for a universal violent criminal background check. We are for a ban on military-style assault weapons in the country. Our lax gun laws are a danger to everybody in America, and that's something that we can act with some legislative determination to turn around. But people have got to lead their lives, and people need to act with courage, but it is the responsibility of government to try to keep everybody safe from random arbitrary violence and bigotry and hate motivated crimes.
Bro, why talk about gun control when this happened? Because as far as I know, there was no gun involved. There should have been a gun involved. If there was a gun involved on the side of the victims, then maybe there wouldn't be so many victims. But the guy did not have a gun. He had an improvised flamethrower, a spray bottle with alcohol in it, and a lighter, which of course will create a flame. That's all that he had. He did not have a gun. He did not have a weapon. He got some basic supplies you could get from a hardware store or a grocery store or a dollar store or anywhere. A spray bottle, alcohol, and a lighter. Anybody can have that. That's not a thing that you would ever ban. Are we going to ban alcohol? Are we really going to do that? We're not going to do that. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, look, I got to kind of go back to the whole mentally ill thing. This right here is what I'm talking about. Now, we have a guy feeding homeless people. Where is he at? I'm not sure. Maybe New Orleans, maybe somewhere else. But he's feeding the homeless, literally. Okay? A noble thing, right? But somebody wants to interrupt because they're going through a mental health crisis. And you can see how they look, that the mental health crisis is being exhibited on the outside. Alrighty, let's watch some of this, shall we?
Hey, asshole! Can you do something about the fucking people who are out here about to fucking assault me? Can you wake the fuck up and use your fucking eyes, please? Can I have the same liberty as everyone else?
I'm not the police. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Hey.
So look, I mean, you already see kind of what's going on. This man clearly in girl clothing is complaining to the guy trying to feed the homeless about the people that are in the line. It's like, bro, what you want me to do? I'm not a cop. What am I to do? You could call the police, escape, something like that, but I'm just here feeding the homeless. Whatever you got going on is your business. Okay? And then you want to flip the table for what? Like, what is your purpose here? But see, all the questions I'm asking can be answered by simply saying that this guy is crazy. that the guy has mental problems. But you know what they want you to do on the left? Hey, just accept him for how he is. Accept him, embrace the they, them pronouns. You know, treat this man as a woman. Let him be in the girls' locker room. It's bad enough you're already a man in women's clothing, pretending to be a woman. You're also crazy in general beyond that. Not just crazy because you're wearing this. Not just that, but you're crazy in other ways. You're basically on some roid rage, hormone rage. Why would you do that to the man feeding the homeless? For what? A complete moron, a complete idiot. But hey, if you call him a him, you're a bigot, you're racist, you're sexist, you're all the obics, opes in this. That's what you are. That is what you are. Okay, now, speaking about Transformers and whatnot, this is A.B. Hernandez, who won in California against girls, although he is a biological male. I think what happened here is that they shared, him and the actual girl shared first place. When has it ever happened? How are you going to share first place? Like, I can see if you had tying scores, but they're sharing first place because one is a boy and one is a girl, but one boy says he's a girl, so they're trying to make it be a little bit fair. The best way to make this fair would be to not have the boy in the race at all.
They gave me the medal I deserved, they gave her the medal that she deserved, and sharing the podium was nothing but an honor. As a part of the queer community, like, I want A.B. Hernandez to know that we all have her back and we all have her support. Although the publicity she's receiving has been pretty negative, I believe she deserves publicity because she is a superstar, she's a rock star, she's representing who she is. And to be up there with her, like, that was amazing for me, honestly, yeah. I'm really proud of us both.
A crying shame, but she don't know better. She been brainwashed the same way that that boy been brainwashed. So they don't know no better. Because listen, you are not going to be able to defeat, like if you have men that just take over these sports, or if you have more so-called trans people, ain't going to be no more women in women's sports. It's going to be a bunch of men who look like women. That's what it's going to be. Or who resemble women, or who identify as women. And then at a certain point, it's just going to be just straight up men. It's like, yeah, my man, so what? It is what it is. Okay, now that was in California. He, speaking about A.B. Hernandez, was allowed to win, allowed to get first place, allowed to dominate the girls as a boy. Also in California, you have a girl, a biological girl, who was stripped of her victory because she celebrated too much using the fire extinguisher. So if I celebrate too much, if I celebrate excessively, you're going to take my win away. But if I'm a man and I compete against other women, or I'm a boy competing against girls, I keep my victory. Make that make sense. Let's watch some of this.
I worked so hard for that title.
The greatest moment of 16-year-old Clara Adams' young career taken away from her because of a celebration. After winning the 400-meter event at the CIF State Championships with a time of 53.24 seconds, her dream of winning a state title went up in flames after celebrating using a fire extinguisher.
When she blew the fire extinguisher, the opponents were gone. That was our moment of celebration, and the CIF officials made that about them. The crowd went crazy. They loved it. The booth, CIF booth went crazy. They loved it. But those few guys in those jackets, they took offense to it, didn't like it, and they made a decision based on emotions.
The North Salinas High sophomore grabbed a fire extinguisher from her father and coach and extinguished off her spikes. The CIF deemed her celebration unsportsmanlike, stripping her of her title. It's a celebration made famous by American sprint icon Maurice Green, who enjoyed her paying homage to him and thinks she should get her state title back.
Now, that right there, I remember that right there. I do remember this whole thing happening, and when that happened, there was not like people crying and complaining, and he didn't get disqualified. He didn't get his title taken away. It wasn't really a thing. But now that the young lady emulates that same celebration, we got a problem. in a state where you could be a boy and compete against girls and dominate and it's fine. It's weird. It's weird. And my thing is, okay, if that's the rule that you can't do that in the high school track meet, okay, fine. Let's have all the rules make sense. If that's going to be the case, then you should not allow boys to compete against girls. Really, the whole boys against girls thing should be a bigger issue that you focus on and you don't allow over a celebration.
When I heard, like, because it happened and then people just started calling me, oh, this girl who just won the 400 redid your celebration. I was like, huh, what? If it was away from everyone and not really interfering with anybody, I would say reinstate her.
One clear infraction was Clara's father hopping the railing onto the track after the race, but says he only did that because of how CIF officials were treating his daughter.
There's a CIF rule saying you can't come over the wall, you can't be on the infield, which is a rule respected. But at this point, I explained before about being a coach and a father wearing the different hats. I saw an official grab my daughter by the arm. They were yelling in her face. When he grabbed her by the arm, I went over the wall at that point. I'm father now. I'm not coach anymore. I'm over the wall.
Now, the true fastest 400-meter runner in the state is back home without a medal. And even if the CIF is to reinstate her as the champion, she never got that moment of being crowned a champion.
Even if everything goes in my favor, in regards to like getting my title back, I'll still never get that moment back, like standing on the podium as a sophomore. I'll never get that back because they took it from me.
Terrible, 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 terrible. You know, but hey, that's California for you. That's why I say California sucks. California sucks because stuff like that. It's the people in leadership. It's people, and it's not just your politicians, your Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi. It's not just them. I'm talking about any kind of entity, any kind of thing in California. They suck when it comes to leadership. That's the problem. The people, a lot of great people in California, a lot of good conservatives over there, but your leaders and your big institutions, terrible, 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 terrible. Somebody said boo-hoo. The girls are in high school. We're talking about a 16-year-old high school student. Come on, man. Have a heart, though. We ain't talking about adults here. We're talking about kids in high school. Come on, man. Like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys who understand what's going on here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, check it out. I was speaking about Eric Swalwell earlier. Eric Swalwell, many years ago, I was saying that he might be a good candidate to run for president on the Democratic side. But he's just so goofy that I don't really see it happening. And that's the problem. If you want to be a presidential candidate, you got to have some kind of level of, you got to be a little bit smooth. You got to have a little bit of people skills. You know, Donald Trump, he's just a funny guy. People like him. He's matter of fact. They agree with what he says. Like, even if you are a Democrat, when you see Trump speak, when you hear what he says, it's hard to deny it. Barack Obama had some of that same charm, some of that same energy. But nobody really has that on the Democratic side of the aisle right now. And Eric Swalwell, if they were to groom him, maybe he could have some of that, but he didn't have it. So this is what they put out recently. Now, okay, maybe I'm just a moron. Maybe I got two brain cells in my head, but I don't understand this particular video from Eric Swalwell. If y'all do, after I play it, please, like I'm 5 years old, break it down for me. All right, let's watch.
Hey, Congressman.
Trying to help you?
What the fuck is up with Trump always chickening out on tariffs?
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Can anybody explain that to me? Can anybody explain it? What was it all about? So I guess the acronym Trump always chickens out on tariffs, TACO. So because of that acronym, he's going to eat a taco. I don't really, it just, See, that right there is what I'm talking about. Goofy, stupid stuff. A fart taco, yeah, that's why I be farting on TV, all them tacos. I mean, that's what's going on. But anyway, here he is on the Breakfast Club talking about Fang, Yum Yum. Bro, he can never live that down. I would never let him live that down. Yum Yum, is that who our congressman, senator, whatever he is getting caught with? Yum Yum. Let's watch some of this, shall we? And Breakfast Club, bro, please don't give me no copyright claim on this. I mean, man, look, it's 2025. Everybody does reaction videos. Everybody sharing your content, talking about it, giving their 2 cents. You don't even got time to be doing copyright claims on videos. So stop. But anyway, let's let it rock. Again, we got Eric Swalwell on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne and crew.
The Chinese spy scandal hurt your credibility, or did Republicans just weaponize like a nothing burger, so to speak?
You know, the fact that the FBI and the House Ethics Committee said it was bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would hope that would be enough, but like in a disinformation society, like I recognize that it's everyone on the right's favorite meme.
Bro, like we saw you with the girl. We got pictures. It's evidence. How is it BS? And they love cussing. I'm sorry for the cussing, but people nowadays, 2025, they cannot speak without cursing. So I apologize for the cursing. But how is it BS? We saw the pictures with you and the girl, bro. You did that. It happened. It's not a lie. It's not a meme. It's not misinformation. You did that for real.
My wife tells me all the time, you know what? The second they're not going after you, you're not effective.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wear it as a badge of honor that these guys would want to lie about me all the time, because I think it means that I'm landing punches politically on them that sting. And frankly, I think a lot of Republicans look at me as like, oh, that's a straight, white, Christian male, son of a cop. Like everyone else like him looks like me. So when he comes at me, it's more betrayal to them. Like I've heard that from them on their side, that's why they take it so personally. So I'm not going away, and they can say what they want and the death threats will come. But if they think I'm going to drop my lawsuit from January 6th against the president, or if I regret being an impeachment manager, or if I'm not going to like go out and work my ass off to help us win the midterms, like they're wrong. Like I'm not going away. I came from nothing. I was raised by a cop who did the right thing. Like to me, I'm playing with the house's money, so to speak. And so this is just a right or wrong mission for me.
All right. First of all, Eric Swalwell, I don't even know where to start. You know what? Okay. Let's just start here. And you know what? Before I get into what I want to say, I'm going to speak to you in your language. That's how you know that all day long. That's your language, first of all. Second thing I got to say. This is her right here. This is Fang right here. What are we saying? Where is the lie? We have evidence. We got documents. We got pictures. We have everything. What are you talking about? A lie? What lie? We're seeing it right here. It was a House Ethics Committee investigation, but that ain't, I mean, come on, man. Like, that ain't nothing. Y'all politicians can just make up stuff, cover up for each other, cover up each other's lies. Come on, man. Like, we know what the deal is. We know what the deal is, bro. You had Fang, Yum Yum, and you got, man, it is, okay, look. Just own up to it. You know what? I was young. I didn't really know any better. And she got me. Okay? She got me. See, Eric Swalwell. You get a lot of that guy right there. I don't really know. I don't really understand. Okay.
Why should we?
Here he is again talking about the whole thing with President Biden. Charlamagne's asking him, why should we trust Joe Biden? Or, hold on. I let him just ask the question himself rather than me trying to explain it.
Why should we ever trust the Democratic Party after they lied to us so long about President Biden? And I'm big on this because I just read the original Senate. I'm just like, I don't see. I think that Democrats have tried every strategy except for two things: honesty and courage.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people who are courageous right now in the Democratic Party. Our bread and butter issue, our dance with the one that brought you, is healthcare. People have always trusted us on healthcare. That's our issue from President Johnson to President Obama to when Donald Trump tried to take it away. That's how we won the House in 2018. And now this reconciliation bill is going to take 14 million people off their health care. We're not only going to protect health care, because I think protecting health care is not enough. We need to invest in cures. And these motherfuckers are firing cancer doctors.
All right, that's enough. Why you got to cuss, though, man? Look, to the politicians, I mean, maybe you're going to hear me, maybe you're not, but the gratuitous cussing when it's not necessary, because this is like, it's not like what Trump would do. Occasionally he'll curse, but it's not so much like what he's doing is childlike. You first learn curse words and you use it because you know it now, and you're trying to be edgy and you're trying to be kind of offensive because it's fun, but you're not speaking naturally. That's why he's goofy. So I had enough of Eric Swalwell. That's enough. All right. Speaking about goofy individuals, here we are on MS-13 DNC. It's not with the blacks trying to protect the Democrats. My man right here, hopefully, God please, in the future, I play God please in the future. I don't want to look like this gentleman on the right-hand side of the screen, okay? I already got the black frame glasses, the gray, okay? I don't want to look like that gentleman when I get to be older.
Working, right? And you look at the polling, and the president's underwater on dealing with the economy, way underwater on handling inflation and cost. And these were once Republican strong suits, right? The Republicans always had an advantage on the economy and dealing with it and dealing with these sort of pocketbook issues over Democrats. They don't have that anymore. You can't go on a focus group, and it's amazing. You can't go on a focus group with moderates, progressives, or even conservatives, and the first things they're talking about is tariffs, and the first thing they're talking about is how costs aren't going down. So if they're going to fix this, they've got to fix it very quickly before it gets baked in. Because I'm afraid right now, when you look at how his numbers are, and I'm not being partisan, look at how his numbers have gone underwater around basic economic indicators. It's beginning to get baked in, and I think this is a fundamental problem for Republicans.
All right, there we go. So what do y'all think? You think my man right here, I don't know what's going on. He looking like Charles Oakley, then got on that stuff. But what do y'all think? Is he on point, off point? Y'all let me know. Give me some feedback in the comments. All right, shout out to him. And that's on the new MSNBC show. Do y'all watch that show on MSNBC? Are y'all fans of the brand new show? They might as well go ahead and just close up. Now, here's something I want to show you guys right quick. It's a little bit off topic, but it's going to be good for a conversation. What? Now, y'all know Khabib, the MMA fighter, right? So Khabib comes on CBS. It's like a halftime show right here. He is approaching the desk to greet everybody. You see, you got the young man right here, the streamer, I Show Speed. You got a few people that are noteworthy here at the table. Now, if y'all know the MMA fighter, he's a Muslim from Russia, but Dagestan, which is like Middle East. So he has certain customs that he's going to do that others may not necessarily understand or know. Let's watch some of this.
Wow. How was everything?
Wow.
How are you guys? You okay? Legends here.
How are you, sir?
Nice to meet you.
Very nice.
Welcome to the show. Apologize. Thank you so much.
How are you
Habib, the UFC fighter, it is a pleasure to have you. We didn't know you were here.
This guy, me,
Yeah, I
you.
was.
You're a big PSG fan.
Yes.
Always have been? Lifelong?
Honestly, since when I was a kid, I was Real Madrid fan.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so you saw what happened. So Khabib, of course, MMA fighter, very famous, very well known. He greeted all the men, handshake, etc. But the young lady reached out and he said, I can't. That's what Muslim guys do. If you're really about that Muslim life, you do that. Now, what do y'all think? Is that something that we should tolerate or we shouldn't tolerate it? Or is it like, okay, hey, you know, I got my religion and I'm going to adhere to my religion. Personally, I say, look, we have freedom of religion in this country, freedom of expression. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Now, some are going to say that that's going to be a cultural problem because if you bring in a bunch of the Islamic people with that kind of culture and that becomes dominant, it's going to disrupt the country's social fabric, which is a valid complaint. It's a valid concern because we live in a nation that was founded on Christian principles. And when you bring in a whole different culture, and you bring a lot of them in at once, it's going to cause discord. And that can be the same thing with just different culture in general, not necessarily linked to a religion. Same thing that happened in, what was that, Springfield, Ohio, where you brought in 20,000 Haitians to a town of 55,000. You're going to have cultural issues that come up that are not necessarily about religion. So what do y'all think? Is that out of bounds, in bounds? What's going on? Okay, it's fine with me, says Griselda. Tolerance, AMG says that is their culture. Let them be. Hasidic men will not sit near any non-Hasidic woman in New York City subway. Can't take it personal. That's right, and that's gonna be the Jews. So the Jews do that. The Orthodox guys, they do that. The Muslims, they do that. So what do you do? Okay. Yeah, no pork. Somebody said something about the pork. Y'all are crazy. All right, but that's pretty much what's going on. I wanted to show that because that's been the thing that has spoken about a lot lately. Okay, but shout out to him. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, I want to go to Tampon Tim. Okay, here's Tampon Tim. And look, the nerve of Tampon Tim trying to insult Trump supporters while having the official Trump brand tan. Okay, you got the permanent glasses on with no glasses and the orange glow. How dare you attack Trump and Trump supporters with the signature Trump orange tan? Anyway, here he is talking about people voted for Trump not because of politics, but because of entertainment. Let's watch.
I say this because I'm proud to say it looks like as of next Tuesday, I'm going to have a high school graduate with my son, Gus. And he's pretty in tune to this. But when he said this, he said, Dad, a lot of these young guys, especially, said they're not voting on the policy issues. And he wasn't dissing them. He said they may know the policy issues, but most of them don't. They're doing it because there's a sense of excitement, a sense of thrill in this. It's entertainment or whatever. We all dismiss that. Donald Trump's a clown. Donald Trump's rallies are a clown. This MMA fighting stuff and this, and look, you start veering in to the Andrew Tate stuff, which is dangerous misogyny and, assault issues and all of that. But there's a peripheral side of that is not criminal, but is still going down the same road of saying you got a place to belong. And I think this is me just pontificating for what it's worth. Social media and other things have disconnected people more than they were. We were more connected in my generation. It was easier to be a kid when I was growing up. And I've always said this as a teacher, if you don't give a kid a place to belong, they'll go find one. So why you want them to be involved in sports and music and things in school, because they will go find a group of folks. And I think Donald Trump understands belonging, understand groups. I mean, you look at it. He gives them a uniform, the red hat. He gives them some chants, some talking points, whatever. It's not all that different than when we build sports teams in high school. You belong, you're part of this. It's not so much the policies. I think it's incredibly dangerous, but I don't think we went out to get them. We didn't out to make them feel a part of this.
All right, so there's a lot there. Now, see, Tim is an idiot. He's a moron. Okay, so you seeing people wearing red hats, you seeing people at rallies. Let me ask you a question, Tim Waltz. What percentage of people that voted for Trump attended rallies? You let me know that. Like, give me that. What percentage of them just walk around wearing the red hat all the time? What, you had like 80 million people that voted for Trump? At least, 77? Out of 18 million people, do you think they all just wearing MAGA hats just for no reason? At work, at the club, at the golf course? Is that what they're doing? You don't understand what you're talking about. You don't get it. You don't get the American people, which is why y'all lost. And if you don't change, you're going to continue to lose. But it's fine for me. It's totally fine. If you want to keep losing, it's all good. Because what I don't want is Tampon Tim or a guy that's like him. I don't want a Tampon Tim adjacent person. This is like Eric Swalwell in the future. In like 5 years, that's Eric Swalwell right there. I don't want him or Tampon Tim anywhere near the White House. So it's fine. Hey, if you want to keep losing, Tampon Tim, Yum Yum, whatever, go ahead. I don't got no problem with it at all. Okay, I have no problemo with it at all. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty, let's watch Karine Jean-Pierre. Karine Jean-Pierre is going to be a star. She's a star already. Listen, here's my prediction for Karine Jean-Pierre. They're going to give her a show on TV. Karine Jean-Pierre, if she left the Democratic Party, okay? You see the book right here says independent. But she's still going to be a liberal. It's kind of like Bernie Sanders being independent. You're still a liberal. Anyway, if they give her a show, it'll do very well. It'll do very well because she's able to speak. She's very attractive, not no big back. Okay, she's going to do very well. And I think that in 2028, she'll be at the top of the list to run. I think so because they don't have anybody. Like if you had a more stacked class for the Democrats, for the left in 2028, or maybe not 2028, maybe a little bit in the future. Okay. Maybe after about 2 or 3 terms of the next person, maybe she runs. But she has a TV show, podcast, and keeps her name out there. And her first splash into being a celebrity beyond Joe Biden's White House is the book called Independent. Let's watch some of this.
Hi, I'm Karine Jean-Pierre, and I am the author of a new book that's coming out this fall called Independent. It's coming out on October 21st, so please do grab it. And the reason I wrote this book, coming out of the White House, serving as White House press secretary was an honor and a privilege. But since I have left, the people that come up to me, strangers that come up to me just across the country as I'm traveling, and sometimes right in my neighborhood, at a grocery store, supermarket, airport, my daughter's school, the number one question they ask me is, Karine, how do we get out of this? How do we protect our democracy? How do we protect vulnerable communities among us? What do we do next? Because we don't have answers here. That's what they ask me. And this is my answer. And what I mean by that is, in an era of misinformation, disinformation, the regressiveness of social policy, what we're seeing currently right now, what I have decided to do, and I really have thought long and hard about this, is to follow my own compass. And that's what I've done. And that's what this book does. And here's the truth. And here's how I will lay it out to you. I think we need to stop thinking in boxes and think outside of our boxes and not be so partisan. And the way that I see moving forward in this space that we're in right now is, if you are willing to stand side by side with me, regardless of your how you identify politically, and as long as you respect the community that I belong to.
Pause. If y'all didn't know, she's LGBT. She's gay. She was, keyword was, married to a woman. And the funny part is that when she was married to a woman, white woman, Suzanne Melba from CNN, when she was married to that white lady, they had a daughter. I guess they adopted a daughter or something like that. And they got divorced. And now she's like a single mom, which is crazy. How are you going to be gay and a single mom at the same time? But anyway, that's who she's referring to as far as a community, the LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z. Alrighty, let's keep going.
And vulnerable communities that I respect. I will be there with you. I will move forward with you. And that is, I think, so important. So this book, Independent, it's about looking outside of boxes, not just always being in a partisan stance. And how do we move forward together in a compassionate way, in a way that really, truly cares about people? October 21st.
All right. So her former colleagues in the White House, a lot of Democrats, they mad. They're big mad. When I posted this on my Facebook, shout out to Rob Patillo. Rob Patillo, you be in DC, you one of the DC liberals. He's like, oh, she's trying to sell a book. So they're saying it's a grift. She got a book to sell. But Jake Tapper, all the rest of them, they also books. They all do the same thing. I think they're mad at her because they know that she could become a star, and they don't want her to become a star. They saw her trying to do this while she was already in the White House. But why not? Why not? You know that Joe Biden ain't going to be able to make it, and you know that Kamala can't win. So, exit strategy. There go the book right there. Okay, I'm not a Democrat. I'm gonna just get money. That's what's going on. But again, she's going to be on TV, and she has the book, and she's going to do well at it. I can see what's going on here, and soon they'll have her run. Maybe the vice president first, or maybe the president right away, or maybe a different cabinet position in the White House administration rather than press secretary. You're going to see. You shall see. Don't worry about it. Okay. 50 years old. She looks good for her age. Yep. And looks matter. Y'all know looks matter. We know we've not had a president below 6 foot tall since Jimmy Carter at 5'10". Americans want tall men to be the president. Maybe in the future, when we become more LGBT than we are right now, what they say, like 40% of Gen Z identifies as LGBT. When we become more LGBT than we are right now, if that happens, and hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, we'll be more open to having the female be the president of the USA. If we're a more masculine and heterosexual country, we're not going to like that too much, because men and women understand that a woman in the presidential role isn't the best pick. But again, if we become more LGBT and more female centered, then that can become a reality. Hopefully not, but we'll see. We shall see. Summer Sky says, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. How am I crazy? Am I lying? Look, if I'm lying, I'm flying, but I ain't got up from the chair yet. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty, so the big beautiful bill, Elon Musk doesn't like it. He says it's going to just undo all the work that Doge has done. You're going to raise deficit by a bunch of money. It's going to be terrible. He put it on Twitter. It's a whole big thing, and he's kind of doubling down on what he said. But Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, responded.
Yeah. Let me say this. It's very disappointing. Okay, I've come to consider Elon a good friend. He's obviously a very intelligent person, and he's done a lot of great work. With all due respect, my friend Elon is terribly wrong about the one big beautiful bill. Yeah,
All right, so there we go. So he says Elon is wrong about that. Summer Sky said, how are we going to have a 5 foot tall black woman as a president? You see, you got to listen. You got to listen. Maybe you didn't hear what I said. Maybe I'm kind of delayed. But like I said, if we get to a point where we're more LGBT, like 40% of Gen Z is allegedly, if we get to be more LGBT and more female centered, then that could become a reality. But as of right now, in my humble opinion, the nation is not prepared for a female president because we still have a lot of masculinity left in leadership. But that masculinity is slowly dwindling away, in my humble opinion. And the masculinity is leaving because of the push for LGBT, which is why I'm so adamantly against it. When you're talking about pushing LGBT onto children, you're pushing it onto them in their formative years, changing the way in which they think, which is going to change the way our nation is run, because you're raising the future leaders of this nation. And when you put in the LGBT, all kinds of stuff in their brain, that's going to be there when they get to the point of becoming the president, or when they get to the point of voting for the president. They're going to have that idea in the back of their mind. It'll be part of their identity. That's kind of what's going on. And ultimately, when you push more to LGBT, you're going to push for extended adolescence. You're going to push for people to be like children when they get to be 30-something years old, still behaving as little boys and girls. That's what's going on with that. Now, check this out. This is probably an old video, but this is Warren Buffett's solution to the deficit. All right. And I'm going to play this. And again, probably a very old video, but y'all let me know. Would this work or not?
I can end the deficit in 5 minutes. You just pass a law that says that anytime there's a deficit of more than 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election. Yeah. Now you've got the incentives in the right place. I can end the deficit in 5 minutes. You just pass a law that says that anytime there's a deficit of more than 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election. Yeah. Now you've got the incentives in the right place. I can end.
There you go. So shout out to my main man, Warren Buffett, saying, hey, you know what? If we tied the deficit to jobs in Congress, now we got an incentive to actually get something done. Now we got an incentive to make that actually happen. Okay. Yeah. So that might make sense. And somebody said it that Karine Jean-Pierre was not born in the USA, so she can't be the president. Okay. I almost forgot about that. Yeah. Born in Martinique, born in France, if I'm not mistaken. So she can't be the president. But although she can't be the president, she will be a big player in the Democratic Party. she will be. And maybe somebody up under her or linked to her will become the president in the future. I got a feeling because they don't have anybody. They have nobody. You saw how goofy Eric Swalwell was just now. Farting on TV, fang, talking about, oh, I didn't do it. Bro, we got pictures, evidence, all of that. They have nobody. The only one they have is Emperor Lord Gavin. And he doesn't want to stop being the Emperor of California. So what are you going to do? He'd rather be at the house chilling than to be the president of the USA. Okay, now I got some financial stuff. This is about how much fruits and vegetables cost in Mexico. Now, if you guys know Mexico, please confirm whether these prices are true or false. If they're true, it's mind-blowing.
I heard you.
Listen, because I know how much I spend on fruits and veggies here in the United States, these prices are off the charts, or actually way below the charts. Check it out.
I heard you guys spend $40 a week for fruits and vegetables in the United States. This is how much I spend in Mexico. I'm gonna grab some apples. I just spent 37 pesos. I'm gonna get some broccoli too. 5 pesos for the broccoli. Gracias. Cucumbers. 20 pesos for the cucumber. Also getting an onion. These are huge. 8 pesos for the 2 big onions. Gracias. And a free bag. Let's go to this kind man. Thank you, sir. What's up? Es que mi números de allá. Más uno. He asked for my number and I hold it under pressure and I actually gave it to him. Because he's an old guy and I would feel bad if I gave him a fake number. He probably just wants like a friend or something.
Yeah.
Someone to talk to. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on shopping. I'm gonna get some potatoes. ¿Cuánto va a ser? 8 for some potatoes and some tomatoes. 12 pesos. 25 for some avocados.
Whoa. Okay. See, now you're getting into my territory. It's all I eat every day, really. Okay, so tomatoes. I know tomatoes here, it costs like $2 a pound. $2 a pound for those same like Italian plum type tomatoes. It's like $2 a pound if I'm not mistaken at Publix. So she got that right there for 62 cents. So that's a lot less than I would pay over here. That's definitely more than 1 pound in that bag. Closer to 2 pounds. That's very, very cheap. Now the avocados, watch this.
Pesos, 25 for some avocados.
Now you got 4 avocados, nice size avocados for 25 cents. 25 cents here. That if you get a deal, avocados are 3 for $5. Here, that's it. Like, okay. And wherever you live, how much are avocados? Where I live, 3 for $5. And that's a steal for those same kind of Hass avocados. 25 cents. Wow.
Avocados, 15 for some mangoes, 15 pesos for 6 bananas, 10 for some lettuce, 5 pesos, 8 pesos. This is all I think I'm gonna eat this week. Total, I spent close to $9.
So you get all of that for $9. Now, somebody said it. Of course, if you're living in the place, if you're in a place where you got a very low GDP, people don't make any money, yeah, it'd be cheap like that. But that's crazy that you could pay so little for those items. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. But I get it how you pay a lot less for things out there, but your pay that you get for working out there is going to be very low as well. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of what's going on. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Now let's go stateside. Let's go stateside and make that comparison. Okay. So this is going to be the exact same McDonald's order in 1985, 40 years ago versus 2025 today. Okay, the same exact order at McDonald's 40 years ago compared to now. Let's watch.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
I'd like a Big Mac value pack. Make it 2, please. Hey, what's that? It's the new value pack. See? You get a large Coke, a Big Mac, and a supersized fry with 30% more. All for just $2.59.
Okay, so let's order this exact same thing today in 2025, starting with 2 Big Macs, 2 large fries, and 2 large Cokes. Your total comes to $26.46 without taxes. I cannot believe people still actually eat this crap.
Welcome to McDonald's.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, look. So for a thing that cost 40 years ago, what did it say? $2.59 is now $26.46. Good grief. So don't tell me that it's more expensive to go to get some produce. Really? You're going to spend that much at McDonald's? And I see some of y'all doing it. $30, $40 at McDonald's. You out of your mind. Out of your mind. Yeah, and it's not made the same. Ain't no beef tallow or nothing like that. Okay? Crazy. That's McDonald's. 40 years difference. Amazing how things change, huh? Okay. Now, here's some things people do to make monies. Speaking about fast food, this guy works at In-N-Out. How much do you think guys get paid at In-N-Out, the fast food joint? Before I play it, how much do you think guys get paid at In-N-Out? Maybe y'all know. Maybe you got kids that work there. Maybe you worked there before. Maybe you work there now. How much do they get paid per hour? Y'all let me know what you think in the comments before I go ahead and let it rock and roll.
How much do they pay?
They pay, I think the starting right now is 22 an hour.
You get tips?
Not really. If people want a tip, they can.
I heard managers get paid really well. Is that true?
They do, yeah. Like second managers, they start making six figures.
Do you know how long that would take?
Like 10 years plus. It's a while.
How many years have you been doing this?
I've been here for almost 3 years. And I'm like halfway to manager right now.
What is this called, this position?
I'm level 4. This is just drive through, and I usually get this at level 2.
You start at 1 all the way to what?
All the way to 7, and then you go to like a manager and assistant manager, all that.
How's it going? What's better, Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is just chicken.
Fried chicken is less healthy, right?
Yeah, 100%.
There you go. So are y'all surprised about managers making like six figures? You know, starting at like 22 an hour, 25 an hour. Are y'all surprised at that? What do y'all think? I mean, you know, times change. In 2025, it ain't the early 2000s no more. It ain't the 80s no more. Things change. Buc-ee's is the same way. That's right. Let me find some of the Buc-ee's. If you guys never been to Buc-ee's before, first of all, if you've not been to Buc-ee's, I feel like you need to. As an American, as part of just a rite of passage to go to a Buc-ee's. Now, these may be a little bit outdated potentially, but I'm going to show them. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, some of these might be a little bit outdated, but for the most part, it's on point. Last time I went to Buc-ee's, I think they had that, and it was right on. So, okay, these are going to be the pay levels for Buc-ee's employees. And if you don't know Buc-ee's it's a real big gas station, hundreds of pumps, and they have everything on the inside. You could get a sandwich right there. You could get all type of stuff ordered, all kind of food. You got clothes, you got home decor, you got drinks, you got everything. Beautiful bathrooms. Buc-ee's is the best gas station you could ever go to in your life. Buc-ee's is the best gas station you can ever go to in your whole entire life. But check it out. So you starting at 18 an hour. That's for cashier, gift, cleaning, janitorial, warehouse, grocery stocker. 18 an hour. You don't need no experience. Come in there straight off the street. Straight off the street, no experience. 18 an hour off the rip. Restroom crew, $20 an hour. Food service and car wash, $21 an hour. Oh, they also got a car wash, like a standalone car wash, not just like a little drive-through one stall, but a whole big car wash. They got those at some Buc-ee's. Team lead, 20 to 23. Department manager, 25 to 33. Assistant food service manager, 33 to 42 an hour. Assistant general manager, $125,000 to $150,000. Gift manager, car wash manager, $125,000. Food service manager, $150 to $175. General manager, $175 to $225,000 to be a general manager of a gas station. Okay, you get 401k, 100% match, 6%, 3 weeks paid time off, health care, and you can work part-time. Plus, if you do overnight, you get $2 more an hour. So there you go. Okay. So yeah, go ahead. If you're looking for a job and there's a Buc-ee's near you, then that's fine. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah, but I love Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is the truth. Now, Kiwan Lynette, those prices for Buc-ee's, they have Buc-ee's all over the country. They got them in, I think they started in Texas, but I've been to a Buc-ee's in Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. I've been to one in Florida yet. I don't know if I've been to one in Florida, but they got them all over the place. They're all over the country, but they might not be on the left coast as of yet. Yeah, you got to come on back east to experience the good old Buc-ee's. All right. Now, street interviews. How much do these guys make? This guy right here is a surgeon. I might have played this before, but I'm going to play a little bit of this. This guy's a surgeon. How much does he make?
Surgeon, then a plastic surgeon eventually.
Wow.
Yes.
And how much money do you make per?
Not as much as you think. I would say that.
Before he answers the question, he's a plastic surgeon, and we're going to guess how much he actually brings in. He says, well, maybe not that much. Let's see what the answer is.
On average, anywhere from $500,000 to $800,000.
And how many years experience do you have in that field?
35.
Oh, wow.
You know, a little bit more, maybe.
And how many years of education did you have to get to pursue this career path?
4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 8 years of residency, and then I'm on my way.
Now, going to school for that many years, do you think?
So 16 total years is a long time, but you're making $800,000 a year.
That the career path you chose was worth it in the end, or do you like helping people?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I got to help, thousands of people, and I wouldn't change it for a minute, and so everybody needs a good doctor.
Now, do you feel like this is an easy industry to get into, or you have to be passionate about it and wanting to help people?
You need to be passionate because it's not easy. There's long, grueling hours for a little pay. You get into debt, and so you have to understand what you're getting into, and it needs to be a passion.
How old do you know, if you don't mind me asking?
I am 64.
Now,
that's good for his age.
Someone who's 64 years old, if you can go back to your 21-year-old self, what's the best piece of life advice you want to give your younger self right now?
Take care of yourself first and find the right life partner. The single biggest decision you'll ever make is who you marry.
There we go. So, again, we got a surgeon,
younger self,
$800,000 a year, and a lot of experience, 35 years of experience. If somebody said, you live in Tennessee and you've not seen the Buc-ee's, they got one in Crossville. Or Crossville, however they say it. That's kind of a newer one they built right there. In between Nashville and Knoxville, Crossville, they got Buc-ee's right there. So, yeah. And then once you go up 75, past, what's that? Jellicoe, all of that. Once you get past that mountain and you get to Lexington, that area is one right there in Richmond, Kentucky. So, yeah, they have them right up and down that particular area. But if you go 75 straight up, you won't see the Buc-ee's in Tennessee. You got to go 40. From like Knoxville, Nashville, you got to go that way. You won't see it going straight up 75. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. This guy has washing machines. Let's see how much he makes from washing machines.
Today I'm going to collect all the money from my laundromat to see how much money it made in the past 2 weeks and in the entire month of February. This is one of my largest machines. They can do up to 60 pounds of laundry in one load and I charge $7.50. These next two are my second biggest. They can do up to 40 pounds of laundry and I charge $6.50. When I first bought this laundromat, I thought my utility bills were going to be through the roof, but they're actually not that bad. My electricity is about $1,200, gas is about $1,500, the sewer is around $400 or $500, and my water bill usually comes out to about $500 as well. Here's my other 60-pound washer. People love them. I have to dump these every 5 days or so or they'll get too full and jam up. I do all my own maintenance, so all I have to do is buy the parts. Here's what all the quarters from the washers and dryers look like after I've collected them. To count them, I weigh them. It comes up to $20 per pound. So here's the first batch, and then here's the second. And then it's time to collect the cash. I have two bill acceptors, so here's the first one.
There we go.
And then here's the second one. It looks like this one has something going on with it, so I'm going to have to check that out later. It wouldn't all come out at once, so I had to do it piece by piece. I probably got a screw loose in there or something. But I finally got it all out, so here's what 14 days worth of cash in my laundromat looks like. Let's count it
14 days.
Up and see how much it came out to. My laundromat also accepts debit and credit, so I'll be adding that to the total at the very end. As most of you know, my laundromat has two sides to it. Self-serve, where people do their own laundry, and wash and fold, where we do it for them. Our wash and fold brings in a lot more revenue, but the margins are a lot lower because of labor. In about 2 weeks, I'm getting some brand new machines installed. Washers, dryers, the works. I'll be making a bunch of videos of the installation process, including how much it costs and what it takes to install them. If you have any questions about it, please let me know now and I'll try to make a video about it. So here's how much the cash came out to, and then here's how much money my laundromat made in the past 14 days and in the entire month of February.
So in 1 month, you made $35,400 from washing machines. In 1 month, $35,000. Now, of course, you got expenses and whatnot, but still, that's still $35,000 in cash you got coming in 1 month just from washing machines. All right. So that's not bad. That's not a bad business to get in. I guess all you got to do is just have some money to get your location, to get your machines, and have a way to maintain them. And then boom, there you go. And thank y'all for saying bless you. I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. Now, here's a question. How much are you spending in general? Not just for the business, but okay, you go in Disneyland, Disney World, whatever. How much do regular people spend on their vacations and other things?
How much?
This person going to Disney, how much? And I got to ask y'all, okay. So you got a family of 4, right? You got mom, dad, 2 kids. How much are you going to spend to go to Disney? The total thing, the whole shebang, talking about the flight, hotel, tickets, whatever. How much are you going to spend on that one trip to Disney with 2 adults, 2 kids? Check it out.
How much did you spend on your Disney vacation?
Including plane fare and all.
Now, I'm not saying she has, a family of 4. I'm just saying, for an example, let's see how much she spent on the vacation.
About 5,000. I got theme park tickets for each day we here. Photo memory maker. Got the Genie Plus and the Magic Bands.
How much did you spend on your Disney vacation? About 500.
And just under $1,000 on extracurricular stuff minus hotel.
How much did you spend on your Disney vacation?
Probably 3,500.
What did you get for it?
What do you mean?
Like Epcot, which area you got?
The package. So we got Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios.
How much did you spend on the Disney vacation?
I have 850 points.
Nice.
Yes. It's a lot.
How much did you spend on
points? Like, is he like a frequent Disney traveler? Is that how that works? You can get points for going to Disney. How that work?
your Disney vacation?
Our tickets were around $500 for me and one child, and that's 2 park days, and then we spent about $400 on a flight.
Okay, so you see her shirt, it says, hold on, her shirt, I'm gonna pause. Her shirt, I'm done adulting, let's go to Disney. All right, that pretty much sums it up. So shout out to the Disney. I've never in my life been to Disney World. Never been to Disney. I never really wanted to go to Disney because when I was a kid, we had Busch Gardens right there in Williamsburg, like 45 minutes away. So the most I want to do is go to Busch Gardens or Kings Dominion in Richmond. I never thought about going to Disney ever in my life, not even as a kid. I was not a Mickey Mouse kid. That wasn't really my thing. If you go there, shout out to you, but I never even thought about going because in my backyard, we already got a theme park. It's like right down the street. Busch Gardens, yeah, I'm good. You get all the theme. You get the old, European, Viking, whatever. You get that theme. Yeah, it was fun. It's fine. All right. Now, speaking about expenditures, if you buy a vehicle for $75,000, if that's the price, the listed price, and you take out payments on, let's say, 72 months, how much are you going to pay per month for that vehicle? And we're also going to see an example of a car that might cost right around that much. So when you see that car, you know it's going to cost X amount to finance it unless they pay cash, which you want no payment at that point.
I'm going to give you guys a realistic example of what payments look like on a $75,000 car. So in this case, we're going to use this M8 competition that I have in stock. This car is damn near exactly $75,000. Crazy thing is I have an S-Class that's right next to it. This car is probably in the same range too. You guys peep the 5.0 over there. Now keep in mind, when you borrow $50,000, that means your payment's going to be in the ballpark of $1,000. Now this car is $75,000. Let's see what the payment looks like. So we have everything plugged in, $75,000 car financing for 72 months, 6.5% rate, paid off early if you want, no money out of pocket. Your total payment amounts to $1,377 a month, and this is with no money down. And even at a 6.5% rate, if you were to keep this car for the entire loan, you'd be paying $17,000 in interest. If you were to put $20,000 down on this car, your payment would still be over $1,000 a month. So when you see these nice cars on the road, just know that whoever owns that car is probably making a crazy payment or they paid cash for it.
So 17,000, hold on. 75,000 for a vehicle, you're going to pay quite a bit for your payments.
Your
and
total payment amount
somebody said
$1,377 a month, and this is with no money down.
Can I stop the video? What's going on? Hold on.
This car for the entire loan.
Like it won't let me start the video. But yeah, that's the price. All right, I got a few more here. This is going to be Santa Monica rent. Okay. This little abode out there, Santa Monica, California. Let's guess how much this is going to be. I guess it's for this little house right here that we're seeing right behind that tree. Nice tree, by the way. How much will rent cost in this little teeny house?
This beautiful 1-bed, 1-bath bungalow in my neighborhood, which I don't want to leave. You can see all the way to the back. That's how tiny it is. It's over $4,000.
Oh my God. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait.
This beautiful 1-bed, 1-bath bungalow in my neighborhood, which I don't want to leave. You can see all the way to the back. That's how tiny it is. It's over $4,000 a month.
$4,000. I mean, good grief. That is crazy. Listen, I'm not a California guy, so y'all please pardon my ignorance, but is it worth that much to be right there in this particular part of California? 4 bands for that little baby teeny tiny house? I mean, come on. Come on. Like, what are we doing? What's going on? Whew. Hey, would y'all live there? Because y'all know Santa Monica. I guess you might know the area better than me. If you know that area, would you live there for that amount of money? Y'all let me know. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. Now, this is going to be a $3.6 million condo, North Scottsdale. Did I already see this one? I think I might have already seen it. Nah, I've not seen this, but it looks kind of similar to the other one. Matter of fact, I think I did already see this, but it was like a different angle. So now we're not going to show that. All right, this guy has an apartment in New York City for. He has an apartment for $820 a month in New York City. Now I already know it's going to be some little tiny little rat trap. Let's watch.
What you get for $820 per month in New York City. I thought I would share the realities of living in New York City is like, because I've just been showing a lot of luxury apartments. So for the door, most people live in places like this, including me. So I live on the 2nd floor. My roommate is here. So I do have 2 roommates. It's a 2-bedroom, but it's
okay. So you paying $820. That's your portion of the rent. That ain't the whole rent. Okay, I get it. So you paying about $2,400, if my math is right, total, but you split it up.
Since a 3-bedroom, the living room has turned into a bedroom. The room on the right is mine, and this is what the bedroom looks like. Just kidding, this is like the first half of my bedroom, which is like the closet side. Don't mind the clothes pile, but keep my bags and stuff on this corner. I do have another functional closet, but I just have a lot of clothes, so that's why I set that up. And I achieved this closet space by putting up a curtain in the middle of my bedroom. And this is my bedroom. Honestly, that's all you get. I do have a kitchen, but I still cook in my bedroom because my roommates are messy. This is like my kitchen section. I have my induction stove, rice cooker and stuff like that. Vitamins and stuff like that. And my fridge. Keep my toiletries in here. My camera equipment. Electronic equipment. Just some school supplies, electronic stuff, and then my cleaning supplies. This is my first apartment.
Man, all these boxes, man. It's like, what's going on? Do you live in Roblox? Do you live in Roblox, bro? What's going on?
Video. The only difference is like I just put some pictures up. I also have an AC. It's a bitch to set up, by the way. And I just shoved everything underneath the bed. Oh, and since people keep asking, here's the kitchen with all my roommates hoarded condiments. And here's a dirty, disgusting bathroom. Anyways, that's it. Okay, bye.
All right, there we go. So they probably all share that 1 bathroom, and his portion of the rent is $820. His portion to have that space in the total space. So they probably all pay the same thing. So what's that going to be? $24.60 a month for rent. Shout out to the quick math. But hey, yeah, probably a stylist or something like that, I would presume, or just a regular gay dude. I mean, what's the difference? Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, I got one more. Then we're going to get to the calls. This is $5,600 in Miami.
Come with me to check out what $5,600 a month gets you in Miami. This unit is located in one of Miami's top neighborhoods, Park West, at the luxury Marquise residence. This building has a lap pool, a resort-style pool, a poolside bar, a fitness center, a sauna, and a full-service spa. But honestly, the star of the show is the views that you're able to get from these units. This is a 2-story loft-style unit with 1 bedroom and a den, and you have 2 full bathrooms. It's 1,675 square feet, but look at the views from this unit. It is absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, this is one of my favorite views of Miami. Even though it's your typical standard narrow floor plan, the high ceilings make it feel so nice and open in here. On this downstairs level, you have a full bathroom, a full laundry room.
I'm not liking the linear format. It's like you living in a rectangle. I don't like that. I like a little bit of different shapes in there. The rectangle is like Roblox. It's like Roblox, but nice. It's like when you get the money that the kids be wanting on Roblox, make it look better. That's what this looks like. Beautiful furnishings and whatnot, nice view, but still similar.
Which is really nice and spacious, and then you have the den area over here as well that actually has some closet space, fully built out, which is great for storage. And now let's go ahead and head upstairs and check out the main bedroom area. When you first get up here to your right, you have your closet space, which is kind of like a wardrobe style closet. You have the bathroom with a shower and double sinks, of course, and then you have the bedroom area, which is nice and spacious, and I like the open concept. There's actually blinds installed as well, so you have some privacy up here. Overall, I think this is a really unique apartment. What do you guys think? And as always, if you need help finding,
I mean, if you're like a young guy in the cryptocurrency or something like that, and you just got money to spend, this would be very nice for you. Your bachelor pad vibes all day, because the open bathroom concept, that's bachelor pad vibes all day. A lot of glass, not very kid friendly, but yeah, I wouldn't mind staying there for like a week. Yeah, give me like a week. If you say, hey, ABL, I got an Airbnb for free, you can stay there. All right. Yeah, let me go ahead and get that. It'd be good to make content in there. If you're a content maker, content creator, you got a YouTube, Facebook, whatever, that'd be good for that, for sure. Absolutely. Is it an AI voice? I don't know. That's a good question. I think everything nowadays could be AI. You never know what's going on, especially with the voices. All right. Now, I got one more. This right here is not about nobody buying the house. This is about guys working on the house. These are some of the Amish guys. Now, this, if you're a young guy especially, you want to get into this kind of work, because speaking about AI, as far as I know, AI cannot get on no roof and re-roof nothing. AI cannot build a house. AI cannot service your HVAC system. AI cannot come and spray for rodents and pests around your house. They can't do it, but you can as a human being. So if you want a more stable career, I suggest you get into this kind of work. And even if you can't really do it, you got physical problems, maybe get into the investment side. Get into it early as a tradesman when you're young. And as you get older, get more into the manager part. Get more into the investment and being able to have real estate and being able to have your own company where you have workers that work for you. That'd be my advice. So here are the Amish guys doing their work really quick. Check it out. Well, all these guys, they might not all be Amish, but it's an Amish company, which is my point. Have your own company. There we go. So it says right there, world-class roofing, Amish owned, Amish crews. All right. And you see the finished result right there. Big house, big estate. You know, people talking about, hey, who's living there or whatever. I'm less worried about who's living there, and I'm more worried about who's doing the work, who's cutting that grass, keeping the the maintenance of the actual grounds. That's going to be big money right there. Who's doing the roofing? Who's doing any kind of service work to this big property? Who's out there catching the rodents in the wooded area? You're going to get all type of fox, deer, coyote, possum. You're going to get a little bit of everything that come from that wood right there. So who's doing all the things that is needed to maintain that property and the surrounding properties and the road and everything? That's my thought process. So if you want to kind of try to beat AI, think about it like that. So yeah, shout out to them though. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. The high tech Amish. Yeah, some Amish guys, they will use tools and stuff like that, power tools. You got different types of Amish. You know, some of them you got Jebediah with the funny beard and no mustache, and you got other ones it's like a little bit more modern. You know, sometimes you got Amish guys that have left the community, but they still Amish. If that makes any sense. Carolyn says Amish went to North Carolina to lend their building school after Helene. Hey, that's how they do. And I've seen the Amish. Hey, sometimes they will use technology. Speaking about Buc-ee's, I seen them at Buc-ee's one time, deep in 2 double-decker buses, and they look just like you would see them on the movies. A bunch of Jebediahs. The women got the dresses with the frills and stuff. Old school fashion. Old school fashion. But they were on the bus. Some of them had cell phones and stuff like that. Some of them are a little bit more modern than others. But anyway, I got super chats on deck, and then I'm going to get to some calls. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Let me get my super chats loaded up, and then we keep on rocking and rolling. All right, it's working slow for some reason. Let's go ahead and get that sped up a little bit. And let me see. I got some good super chats here. Y'all hold on. I saw some beards, 80s baby, but it wasn't like the regular beards that you would see the Amish have. It wasn't the no mustache chopped down, but some of the guys did have beards. And I might have seen one guy that was Hispanic maybe, but the rest were white guys. And really, for real, to see white guys on their crew mostly is different. Because normally it's like Hispanic guys. But anyway, that kid, the Kaish Posthumous, who says the CIF is full of a bunch of Bruce Genders, SMFH, angry face. Thank you to Apple Blocker, All Puff Daddy, who says, zebra loose in Tennessee. Did I see it, ABL? So a loose zebra in Tennessee. I did not see that. I'm going to look it up right quick. So a pet zebra wreaks havoc on Tennessee interstate after escape. Okay. So this was Rutherford County, close to Nashville. So that was on Interstate 24. Wow. Hold on. Only in Tennessee where you have an escaped pet zebra on the interstate. And who was keeping the pet zebra as in their house or on the farm or something like that? Watch this. All right. Loose zebra just out there chilling. All right. An escaped pet zebra was seen running through traffic in Middle Tennessee. Imagine you see something like that. You're going to think you tripping. It's like, man, is it all over with? Did God come back? Are we having animals just released on us? I've never seen the zebra just out in the wild. Oh, he almost fell. Yeah, that's crazy. Hold on. I think somebody was recording it. So you can own a zebra legally in Tennessee. Okay, you can own a zebra, but somebody got their zebra loose. All right, there we go. So shout out to the zebra. Hopefully the zebra's all right and made it back to the owner. Only in Tennessee you see something like that. That's crazy. All right. Thank you to Apple again, who says, what is the community's opinions on Jasmine Crockett? I'm not really sure. That's a good question. Thank you to Apple again, who says, do you think Elon and Trump will become enemies? Nah, I don't think so. Because you could disagree with somebody without having to hate them. That's one thing about the internet that's really kind of strange. People, if you have a disagreement on the internet, it's like they become your sworn enemy, but it's not always like that. Thank you to Apple again, who says Supreme Court declines to hear case challenging Maryland law banning AR-15. Ban on AR-15 still stands in Maryland. Will it spread to other states? I hope not. I really hope not. And banning the AR-15 is so silly because it's a rifle. So you can have a regular rifle that's not an AR-15, but ultimately it'll get the same thing done. Hey, I pulled the trigger one time and one bullet will come out. 223-556. Hit you right all up in your midsection. It's the same thing. AR-15 is just not easier to use, but it's easier to add attachments on it. Okay, you can go on Amazon and get you like a light, a red dot, and throw it right on there, no problem, because of the system, the rail system. But the ultimate purpose of the rifle is to shoot it and hit something. So whether it be an AR-15 or not, it's still going to perform that same function if it's a rifle. So banning the AR-15 is just dumb. Thank you to TR, who says Baltimore public schools closer to $28,000 to $31,000 per pupil. Investigate all NGOs. Didn't even include the overreach in health or deaths of kids. Violence prevention programs. Thank you to TR, who says liberal elites in denial of mental health many years. They get a life with Sean, who says, which would you choose? Slumber party with DePap, the guy who hit David, what's the guy's name? Paul Pelosi. A night in Vegas with Hunter Biden, or take language lessons to understand the disabled guy from the DNC. Okay, so out of those three, which would I pick? I'm going to Vegas with Hunter. Now, if I go to Vegas with Hunter, I got to set certain little rules. Hunter, I know you love to party, and that's fine. We could party, but please, I beg you, no matter how much fun we're having, do not pull out the cocaine, okay? Keep the cocaine away from me. Let's go have fun, go to Vegas, gamble, but no cocaine, please, I beg you. Okay, no cocaine, no underage girls, and we all right. But to Pappy, I'm not trying to be over there hanging out with him. He gonna do something to me. And the dude from the DNC, that was crazy. That was that was unreal. And I'm mad that she was like trying to translate. It's like, lady, you do not know what he's talking about. He's literally mumbling, saying nothing, and then you are just saying whatever you want to say. He could have been saying sugar honey iced tea, and you say, we've come here today to tell you all we love you. It's like, bro, come on. Anyway, shout out to Kiwan, who says, ABL, this is one of your funniest nights, comedian. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do my best to just show you all my personality. I'm like this all the time in my everyday life. This is how I am all the time. I'm loud like that. They got to tell me inside voice. I'll be like, all right, my bad, my fault. Yeah, this is how I am all the time. Thank you to Regina, the godmother, who says, independent, ? I wonder what else Karine Jean-Pierre will lie about. Thank you to Marta Allen, who says, ABL, do you think that Hillary will try to run in 2028? Well, Marta said, do you think Hillary will try to run in 2028? I don't think so, because she's just too old. Hold on, how old is she now? And it's less about her age. She's 77, actually. She'll be 78 in October. So in 2028, should be 80. 81, actually. 81, too old. And when she ran in 2016, she was too old then. So 12 years later, it ain't going to be no better. She was getting the Joe Biden treatment in 2016. Weekend at Bernie's, couldn't go forward over the actual curb. That was a mess. Can I find that video right quick, please, before we get to the calls? Hold on. Hillary Clinton, what was that? Sprinter van. Hopefully I can find it. There, that's perfect. Perfect. Okay, remember this? It was looking like Weekend at Bernie's. So she was walking up to the curb to get into the van. Now, the van has got to be maybe a foot off the curb. Maybe a foot tops off the curb. It's not right on the curb, as you can see by the wheel right there. The curb is not touching the wheel of the vehicle, but it ain't that far from it. All she got to do is step 1 foot down off the curb and then step into the Sprinter van. But she couldn't do it. Remember this? And that was in 2016. So if she was doing that in 2016, how's she going to do anything better than that in 2028? Come on. That was a crazy moment. I was like, wow, this lady is about to be dead on the campaign trail. That's what I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see her just kick the bucket right there on the campaign trail, just fall over. And I didn't want to see that. It's like, I'm not a gruesome person. Anyway, thank you to Lothair, who says, I disagree. I'm part of the community myself, the LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z. I work out in the gym and I eat steak and eggs every day for my protein and muscle. And people in the community are attracted to that. I'm not sure what the context was for that particular statement. Thank you to Sneaks, who says, hey, ABL, great show tonight. I never thought I would be living in a world where with all the crazy things that defy logic. God bless, man. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you, boss. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dude says, what's going to happen if and when AI can learn and mimic your humor and personality? Well, if it could do all that, then we're all doomed. If it could do all that, then we're all finished. So at that point, it don't even matter. It don't even matter at that point. Yeah. It's, what's happening with AI is if AI can mimic me, that means that AI will become autonomous and it'll be smarter than all of us. So there's nothing that any of us can really do at that point. I don't think we're going to ever be there. The way AI works now, as far as some of these fake videos that you see floating around, there's still got to be prompts from human beings. The human will tell the AI what to do and what to say. Y'all might think, not y'all, but someone or people may think they could just get my sense of humor, personality, but you can't, because you have to mimic the growth and change of a person as they age, and you can't really do that yet with AI. But maybe you will in the future. But at that point, at that point you'll see a whole different world. So by that time, it won't be a question of whether they can mimic me and my personality. At that point, it'll be, what will humans do that AI can't do? That'll be the thing. All right, let's get to some calls here. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, the number to call, 706-406-3287. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. Let me turn that on, and we're going to be lit. Boom, let's go. Let me see. Eugene says, ABL, don't say your image and likeness. I will never do that. I mean, what they going to do with it? Nothing. They ain't going to do nothing with it. Because they can have my image and likeness, but are you going to be able to write down things to tell the AI to say that I would say? I don't think so. 559, your line was speaker 2.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I had a question.
All righty.
Okay. I want to talk about Medicaid. Are they going to get rid of it in that beautiful bill? Because my sister's having a fit about it.
No, they're not.
They're not going to take away her Medicaid. I mean, she lives with my mom, and she doesn't work. She doesn't really have a job. Okay, so I'm just saying, she just works a DoorDash. She can't find a job that she wants. She used to do, I don't know. She used to be in theater and all that stuff. She used to do a lot of design, and she can't get into it as much. There's just too much competition. But I was just wondering, she's all worried about Medicaid.
Is she disabled?
Why are they? She's not disabled, no. She's 60. She just turned, she's 61. She just turned 61.
I believe she'll be okay. I believe she'll be okay.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because she's not disabled. I mean, I don't know. But you think, I mean, why do they say that all these people are going to die if they take their insurance? Like they're going to take covered California away?
Well, I don't know about California and their particular state issues, but I think people are just afraid because of what the media are saying. The media are saying certain things, and people just believe it, so then they get afraid.
Well, why are they saying about the Medicaid, though? I mean, you don't know for sure, right?
I've not heard anything about Medicaid going away.
Oh, well, why did they say that they're 150? That Schumer was on there on the Senate floor saying they always say 150 million. I mean, 50 million people are going to die. They're not going to have any insurance
Because they're trying to scare you.
They're trying to scare us. Okay. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I just didn't understand what was going on.
Right, I got you.
You know that for a fact, though, right? Yeah, they're not going to, Trump's not going to do that to people, right? I mean, I could see if it's illegal immigrants or they're not here as U.S. citizens or, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I was very confused about that was in the bill.
Yeah, don't worry. Everything will be just fine.
Okay, I'll tell my mom.
All righty.
She just had a fit this morning. Thank you very much for answering me. Okay,
Nope.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Poor lady. I mean, people are being scared left and right because of stuff like this. I mean, they're going to be all right. People will be all right. Let's go to 859. Your line. What's speaker to?
Yo, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, not much. I was just driving around with me and my wife, and we're just chilling out, getting some orders done and stuff like that. I think the super chat, you said something about, like, I don't know, it's like all these gay people are very feminine, and I was like, well, not all of them. I'm pretty masculine. I work out a lot. I have a big old scruffy beard. I eat a lot of protein. I do all that stuff. But I like your channel, ABL, and I definitely do. And I mean, the same way that you complain about your community, it's probably the same reason why I complain about my community. They keep on adding more acronyms into it, and I keep on getting a headache and telling them, you young kids, stop it. You're making us look crazy.
Right on.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's always the left always makes any kind of community worse than it really is. It's kind of sad. But I was joining your channel, man, dude. You've been having some good jokes, man. Man, you have some good energy, man. You seem like a cool guy to hang out with. You always have something to say, and I'm the same way, man. I'm pretty loud myself, man.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Hey, no problem, man. You keep on doing you, and keep on doing your content, man. You do some good content. I don't necessarily agree with everything you support, but I do agree with you on some things. And I definitely agree with you. Even though you're a conservative, I'm more of a libertarian. The left has gone so far left that even Stalin is rolling over his grave and asking, why are you guys confused about your sexuality and why you guys focus on race for some odd reason? I'll talk to you later, ABL. I see you later. Kudos.
All right, now thank you for the call. Now he did say he has a wife, but check it out. He says he go both ways. He a switch hitter. You know, hey, and that's a joke, my man. So don't get offended. That's a joke. But I'm serious when I say he go both ways. He's bisexual. So he got a wife, although he's also into men. Hey man, I'm not here to judge nobody's lifestyle. That's not what I'm into personally. But if you like it, then that's fine. Let's go. 910. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is David. Last time I spoke to you, I was the one that called about the whole South Africa and the genocide thing. I was like kind of nervous. That's why I was talking fast. Then I kind of just hung up abruptly. But I do want to say earlier you were talking about how in Mexico things are way cheaper, and I wanted to confirm that because I took a trip back in 2023, and it was like an average like cruise trip to Cancun, but like I went like around the part where like the tourists aren't really supposed to go. Like it was like an actual store, and like in there they had like 1 liter Pepsi bottles for just $1. And I was like so surprised when it was so cheap because, over here it's like not going to be like that at all. So like it was kind of like a shock to me. But that's how it is in a lot of like those poor places. Like, in North Korea, one single US dollar can buy 9 pounds of corn in North Korea, and people don't even know about that. So I mean it's kind of crazy like how more expensive things are over here. And like it's kind of funny because like they'll say like in California or New York, like those places are like they have such a high GDP and all this and that, like how the economy is so good, but those are like the most expensive places to live. I find it always interesting how like the poor places to live are like, it's like things are extremely cheaper. I mean, obviously because it's poor and got to afford to eat, but it's just kind of like a crazy culture shock.
Absolutely. So 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been watching you for like a minute now. Like I've been watching you since I swear I was like 15, and now I'm 22. So
Wow.
it's kind of crazy. Like you are actually like kind of like the older brother, older uncle, older cousin. You have that type of vibe, and I love the Uncle ABL channel. So I'm excited to see what you do with that. And yeah.
Thank you for your call and your support, man. Sure. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. You have a good one.
Same to you.
Good work.
Will do, man. Thank you. All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, I try to have the uncle, the dad vibe. I've been like that since I've been young too. I've been the uncle and dad for a long time, even when I was young. When I was his age, I was like the uncle to a lot of people. It was crazy. Let's keep on going here. Let's go to 904 on the line. Who wants to speak to?
Hey, ABL, this is Nikki from Florida.
All righty, man. What's happening?
Hey, man. So tomorrow I'm 100 days sober. And I just wanted to say thanks for the diet and workout plan tips. I like the ABL special, which is basically no big back snacks and don't stop moving around.
100%.
So yeah.
Right on. Now go ahead, boss.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So yeah, man. No, I just wanted to say thanks, and I always love your show, man. I'm not going to take no more of your time. I want you to get to them other callers. Maybe we'll hear from, Ivan tonight. We'll see.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call.
Yeah,
Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
All righty. All right. Shout out to the call. Let's go to 559 your line. Who's speaking to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, good, man. Concerning the topic you were talking about earlier with Gavin Newsom running for president 28, KJP and all them, do you think that if Larry Elder ran against him in that ticket, that he'd fare better on the national level than how he did in the state level?
That's a good question. Now, would he be top of the ticket, president or vice president?
He would be VP to either J.D. Vance or what's the guy from Florida, the senator?
Byron Donalds?
Byron, yes.
Okay, now that could work. With Byron and Larry, it might be, you got two black guys. You might need a balance. So you make it have JD with Larry Elder. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure that Larry Elder would fit with JD Vance as a vice president. I don't know who you would run with JD Vance, but that's a really good question. I think he could have some more success if he was to be the VP than what he had in California because of the overall ticket. So I think he could succeed more there.
Right. Yeah, I think so too, because he seemed to draw, in my point of view, my perspective, I don't know about you, to draw more attention politically on a national level than he did in California.
Yeah, he would.
Also, my last question, with the CIF in mind and all these trans athletes taking over sports and colleges and everything like that, are we going to see Pam Bondi start throwing out fines and making arrests for these people violating Title IX? Or do you think that it's going to stay at more of like a ground level issue without the DOJ being involved?
That's a really good question too. I don't think Pam Bondi is going to get involved. I don't really see Pam Bondi locking up people at these schools. I think it's going to be more of a locally handled issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much where it's going to be. And it's going to really take a lot of people locally to protest against it. California being an example, because even if Pam Bondi wanted to go arrest, it'd be a big, crazy fight. It'd take the local people to really, really speak up and stand up against it for any kind of change to happen, or for change to happen in a less drawn out, many years long process.
Right. Yeah, I kind of was thinking that way too. Well, the moment they throw cuffs or charge a huge fine on some trans athlete or a coach, then, you're going to be seeing the left coast out in full force, Antifa, Black Bloc, marching down the streets, saying fry 'em like bacon. And it'll be an unending George Floyd Summer of Love 2.0.
100% correct. Absolutely.
Thanks, ABL, so much for your time, man. As always, I appreciate it. God bless you, sir, and God bless the United States of America. Take care.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me. The number to call, 706-406-3288. There it is, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the ticker at a certain point, and as always in the description box below. Let's go to 708. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is your liberal from Illinois. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. I called a couple weeks ago, but I was just, I didn't hear your whole show, but my friend, I got to ask you this. My friend said that you said that a woman couldn't be president. Is that true? Did you really say that?
Well, what I said is right now, I don't see a woman becoming the president, but in the future, as we become more LGBT and more, I guess you would say female centered, it could happen.
Why do you think it won't happen immediately? Do you think we're just not there together in society yet, or what?
I don't think society wants that right now. Not in America. I don't think we really want that right now, because we've already seen examples of it. We saw Hillary Clinton in 2008. They thought it was going to be a shoo-in. They didn't think this black guy from Chicago, allegedly Barack Obama, had a chance, but you saw what happened. And then 2016, same thing. Nobody thought Trump had a chance, and here it is. And then Kamala, she got stomped out, although she was really bad, but we've seen them lose over and over again. And a lot of women tell me that they would never vote for a woman to be the president. Women tell me this. It's not even a matter of sexism from men. It's about men and women not really being there right now to elect a female president of the USA.
What about you, though?
I don't think so. Not right now.
But why are we so behind all the other countries in the world? A lot of countries have women and female leaders, and they're more up to date with things.
Such as?
European has rulers. New Zealand has a female prime minister.
New Zealand, huh? So you want to be like New Zealand?
I just think it's time, and I just don't know what all the sexist undertone. Even when you were talking about the roofers, I saw that part. Like, why can't women be roofers? That's really, if females want a good job, why can't they go do a roof? I did my own roof in my house.
Is that what I said, that they can't be a roofer?
No, you didn't say that, but you automatically said men. You said especially young men should go and do this job.
How many women want to be a roofer?
I don't know. Maybe we should change society, and we should change the mindset where people want to go do that.
I think people gravitate to what they want to do, which is why 90% of nurses are women. And in my opinion, women are the best nurses. Is that sexist to say that?
Are you sure about that 90%? I think more guys are becoming nurses.
90%.
I know a lot of our male students have become nurses.
90%. There are some male nurses, but 90% are women.
But why is there always this gender stereotype? Aren't we moving to a more modern society where we don't need to be doing that?
Doing what?
Saying pigeonhole people into certain things and certain jobs.
It's 90. People gravitate to what they want to. There's nothing that says you can't be a roofer if you're a woman. There's no law against that. If you want to get on that roof and do it, that's fine. And maybe you missed earlier. Hold on. Maybe you missed earlier when I was showing the masculine woman And I was giving her credit for being herself, taking her protein powder, being kind of a bulldagger, and not wanting to become a man. I appreciate her for that, for embracing herself as being more masculine than the average woman is, but still a woman. I appreciate that. So if she wants to get on the roof and do it, then go ahead. Why not?
Right. I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. I'm just ready for something different. And I just feel like sexism around has gotten a little bit more like intense. It's like subtle, but it's just, I've experienced it myself, but I'm kind of sick of just the stereotypes. I think we should be able to do what we want to do. And I'm ready for a female president. It'd be great. And anytime, like you talk about Hillary Clinton, that she was old at 61 with that little video, her going to the car because she had the flu and she was overheated and stuff. But like Trump's like almost 80, so why is it okay for the guy to?
He is old, but see, the thing about it is it's not even about her age; it's about her physical capabilities. I ain't saying nothing about her age. I'm saying something about her age now because she's about to be 78 years old, which is the same age as Trump is, and they both old. And Joe Biden was also 78 when he became the president, and he was old. He was old before he became the president. It's not even about their age specifically; it's about the physical performance. So in the case of President Trump, he's up there in age, he's old, but he's still sharp mentally. Joe Biden obviously was not sharp mentally. Hillary Clinton, she might have been there mentally, but she was not there physically. I'm just observing what I see with my own two eyes. It's not even about necessarily an age thing, but obviously once you get older, once you get up in an advanced age, it's not uncommon to have these kind of challenges.
True. I just think women are held to a different standard, like, than men are. Men can get older and stuff, but if a woman's older, then it's not really like the right thing.
How can you say that when I just said that Joe Biden was 1,000 years old as dirt, and shouldn't have become the president, and he was too old to become the president because of his capabilities? Like, you have an idea in your mind, and you're sticking to it, and that's fine. But you're hearing what I'm saying through that lens. You're hearing what I'm saying through your filter in your brain.
I'm not saying that you were saying that. I'm just saying in general in society. I think you had a very balanced approach of what you just said. Like, I think you kind of said it very well. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just kind of like puzzling over here. It's just kind of like, it just seems like very unbalanced, just ready for like a female president. It just seems like, I don't know. I just wish that it was just like different. And it just seems like it's not. And then my other question is real quick, because I want to take up too much of your time. Like, why is everybody so stuck on the transgender athlete stuff? Like, I understand it's such a small fraction of people, and everybody's harping on that. And I think you said what was right, that people are trying to do scare tactics, and they're like, the poor lady was calling about the Medicare and everything else, and we're trying to scare everybody. I think a lot of the transgender stuff is scare tactics, and we're getting diverted from real issues, focusing on that. When I called a few weeks ago, I talked about that too. We're assuming that every transgender person wants to play sports, every transgender person is going to be good at sports, and we're taking these little pockets of people and we're all freaking out about it. And I'm not saying it's not a small issue, but I think it becomes a bigger issue than it really is, and we're all like not paying attention to what we're supposed to be paying attention to. If that makes sense.
Okay, so to answer your question, I'm not saying that every person who's transgender is going to play sports. If somebody is transgender, that's their business. I don't really care. Identify with whatever you want to identify with, that's fine. But I think that women should have their own spaces, and they shouldn't be interrupted by having a boy or a man come into their space. And although they're going to be a small portion of the people, they're going to be dominant, because that one boy in Washington State won the same championship 2 years in a row. He was the winner for the same thing 2 years in a row. So 2 years, you're taking chances, opportunities, and money, because let's be clear, a lot of these tournaments determine scholarships to college. So you're taking away opportunities, money, everything from the girls. I think that's unfair. I think women should be protected in society, and they shouldn't have men in their spaces taken away from them and taking away their money. Do you agree with that?
I see both sides. I do.
But no. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, but what
all right then. So wait. So if you agree with me, then what's the problem? I don't understand.
What I'm trying to say is that, like, when someone argues an issue, you got to know that the issue, what it is. People make a bigger deal about it than it really is. People, all these people in high school. I called a few weeks ago. I told you I coached a transgender athlete. One person out of 2,000 students that we played was transgender.
Person. And the one person will be better than everybody else and dominant, which is the case in Washington State. It may not be the case in your particular town, But in Washington State, you got one guy dominates all 2,000 other girls.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, we got to make sure that we're not, like, acting like it's every single school, every single college, every single person. I think we got to be careful because it diverts away from what's really going on, if that makes sense. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. Don't let it get to the point where it's going to be everybody, because now the problem got under control. If you got a fire, don't just say, oh, I ain't going to put it out because it's not that big of a fire. Put the fire out right now before it spreads. Because now you got a whole forest fire and everything that got burnt down, California, which is why that happened. Okay, well, we're not going to have the reservoir with water. We're not going to fill it up. We're not going to have the fire trucks. And then when the fire happens, they can't put it out. But I mean, how many men do you know that's just like, you know what? I want to go compete in girls' sports.
It don't matter. You're not hearing what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how many. All that matters is that they shouldn't be there at all. Put the fire out right now, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a lot more of them, and then there will be no more female sports. It'll be men's sports and lesser men's sports. The women will have no chance, because by that time, if you don't do something right now to stop it, it'll be out of control, because there was a certain point in history where there was no men in female sports. Now we have it. At what point does it stop? Stop it right now before it gets out of control. Nip it in the bud.
Interesting. I think that kind of like says like what the view is there. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, well, I just like calling. Like I said before, I like agree with a lot of what you say and all that stuff. But I was just kind of curious, and I didn't get to hear the whole show, so I wanted to kind of clarify about the female president and stuff.
Right on. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Hopefully that cleared that up. Let's go 314. Get online. Who am I speaking to?
Yes. This is Vernice Wyndham.
All right.
Are you there?
I'm here. What's going on?
Yes, I wanted to connect on the Medicaid issue and just kind of shed light on that. So I had executive assistant. I did a little Grubhub, and it was a caregiver. My income limit was high, so I didn't qualify. However, I have a son with autism. Under the Biden administration, for the last 2 years, I was denied, okay? The lesser when I lost and didn't have so many jobs and had lesser income, then my son was eligible. I was not. That's understandable, right? However, what did I do? I took my current income, which is in any day, way, shape, form, year, amount, or fashion, called the Affordable Care Line or whatever that is, you know, Obamacare, and they can find you a plan based on your income limit. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So as of now, my son has Medicaid with autism. He's 9 years old. And I have a plan which is with United Healthcare based on my income limit. People don't know that there are plans through the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare or whatever it is that is based on your income plan, and then with your income limit, so you still will have it. And what it actually is a form of a plan that is, I would say, Medicaid equivalent with Humana, United, Blue Cross Blue Shield. They have plans under all of these insurance companies for us. And right now, I pay zero. I don't have Medicaid, but I have insurance, and it's zero, and I have a plan. It can go to any, and I'm in the state of Texas, so we have a state health program and all of that. But I had options. I could have chosen that plan. I could have paid $150 a month. I could have paid $300 with the Baylor Scott and White. You have choices, and that is kind of how you're directed into your income limit based on what plan you can choose. Also, I think when they talk about this Medicaid cut, it's the waste, fraud, and abuse. Truthfully, I don't think it's just cutting everybody off. But I will say this. My son was denied Medicaid twice with autism, 2 times under Biden, but under Trump this year in March, he was qualified. And we're getting into to this day. I don't have Medicaid, lower income, but I still get a free plan, and I chose United Healthcare, and I pay $0 a month. People have to understand that there's that Affordable Care Act, when you have to apply in November through the end of December, and they start calling your phone and all that. Just tell them how much income you make. They got a plan for you, and you choose that. You can choose low, high, in between, and that's the way to go. And they're not educating on that. And that is exactly what it is. And I it's not Medicaid state or whatever, but there is a plan out there for everybody. Trust me, there's a plan. And I could have gone with Baylor Scott and White and paid $350, and you could choose your plans. And I chose the one that I have. And so I just wanted to share that because people don't know when November 1st comes and they say choose your plan to call the Affordable Care, and they're going to call your phone. Everybody going to call. Call that number. Tell them how much income you have. You're going to have to prove it and use it on your taxes, or they got a form that you supply and do that with, and you choose your plan through there. And if your income is low enough, then you'll choose the zero plan, but you can still receive medical care. And I did want to share that for those of the people who didn't know. Medicaid, cutting in that, I think it's all about waste, fraud, and abuse. That's all I wanted to share.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, very well said. See, look, there we go. We getting real information from the people. Shout out to you. Very, very informative call. I appreciate her for that for sure. Right on. Yeah, people getting worked up about this whole Medicare thing. It's just like I said from the beginning. It's the media trying to scare you as usual. They're not doing anything new. I expect them to behave like this because that's what they always do all the time. It's a scare tactic to try to get you to comply with whatever they want, which in this case is to say that Orange Man's bad. That's all that it is. And also a lot of the fear tactics that they do, it gets you to watch. You sometimes hate watch, but in this case, they want you to scare watch. That's all that it is. 615, hit online. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, man? It's Boomhauer. How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Man, just take it in, man. Good show tonight, man. You're doing really good, man. It is funny. You're doing a good job tonight.
Thank you, man.
Okay, so check me out, man. We got a double-edged sword on this one. Because I want to talk about the runner chick, the runner girl. What's that girl's name? Caroline or something like that, right?
Clara.
Okay. So that's what we're gonna talk about. Double-edged sword on this one because I'm with you. Matter of fact, I'm with you on all this, to be honest with you. But the boys don't need to be running with girls, right? Okay, we're gonna establish that right off the bat. Boys don't need to be running with girls. That is insane. That is crazy. It's stupid. But at the same time, the double-edged sword is you do understand that there are rules to everything. And if that was my kid, first of all, I want to say shout out to the dad for being a father in his daughter's life, for one. Let's just go and throw that out there right off the bat. So thank God he's in his daughter's life. But at the same time, he was the dude that threw the fire extinguisher out there. If that would have been me, I would have told my daughter, dude, you got to think about it. This girl been training and training. You already know she been killing herself, training, trying to prove herself to her daddy. That ain't where her mom at. Her mom's not even out there. She's trying to prove herself to a man, to prove herself to her daddy. She's been killing herself for this moment as a sophomore. I would never let my kid, I would say, you run your life off and don't do nothing stupid at the end. Don't you dare do nothing. But what happened? The dad was the one that jumped out there and threw her the fire extinguisher to blow her feet off. You got to remember what happened to our homeboy Randy Moss. Remember when he had the Sharpie in his shoe and he got the touchdown? And he pulled a Sharpie out of his shoe and signed the football and threw it in the crowd. And they tore him up for that, and he got fined for that. So you got to think about, that's just how I'm looking at it. In this world we live in, there are rules that you have to go by. And it does suck, man, because I was watching a video today, and I was like, man, why did she have to do that, for one? But two, I understand where you are coming from. How come she can't do that when you got a whole boy running against her homegirls out here in the same state as California out here beating them girls to death? It is stupid, man, but I don't know what world we live in. But what sucks is there are rules and regulations to everything we do. Just like I can't get on YouTube right now and I can't be throwing out F-bombs and doing all kind of stuff and get you banned, right? I can't do that because this is YouTube and we got to respect you We got to respect your rules. This is I'm in your house right now. So I got to respect your rules, and I can't say nothing crazy, and neither can anybody else. So when you're on that field, man, I just wish that girl, and I hope and pray that girl does get her. I hope she does get it, man. I hope she does get her accolades and everything for what she did. But she just needs to take this as a moment that it was an accident. She never should have done it, man. And I totally see why she did it. Because, dude, I've done a bunch of crazy stuff in my life. But, man, if you're a sophomore and you're a girl and you're running for your life and you're actually doing it and you won, why would you want to waste that moment like that by doing something so silly? It was silly. I ain't going to say it was stupid because she was doing the same thing that the dude did. I don't even know who the dude was that was running. The dude in the Olympics that the dad was trying to mimic the whole, you know,
Maurice Green.
What was it?
Maurice Green.
Yes, they were trying to mimic that dude. And shout out to him, too, for doing that. But, hey, man, that's in the Olympics, and that's something different. And once again, I'm trying to say, hey, I'm playing both sides here. She was on the sidelines. She didn't spray nobody. She didn't hurt nobody. She didn't do nothing stupid. But at the same time, man, you got to remember, it's California, it's Leftyville. You do one little thing out of pocket, and they're going to throw the book at you, man. You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel about what I got to say?
I mean, my thing, I still feel the same way. I understand where you're coming from. I do understand where you're coming from. But my key issue was, okay, if you're going to have rules, let's let the rules make sense, and let's let it be consistent. If I'm going to get in trouble for the celebration, then we cannot have men competing against me, because here it is. It's like, okay, in the case of the fire extinguisher, you're punishing me for a thing that I did wrong. In the case of the transformer, you're punishing me for a thing that I didn't even have any control over, and which is the man racing against me. Because if he comes in first and I come in second, or he comes in third and I come in fourth, you're talking about scholarships being taken away, financial opportunities, colleges not looking my direction, all because of a man being there. That's a punishment on me when it's not my fault. If I'm to be punished for a thing that I did, don't also punish me for a thing I didn't do. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I completely agree with that too, because I do not agree with men and women's sports at all. I think it's straight up trash. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's dumb. But I don't know what to say, man. At the same time, it's like, man, I just don't understand why the dad threw that out there and let his kid. I mean, I don't want to say act a fool, but at the same, yeah, kind of. But it ain't. And at the same time, to me, it ain't really a big deal. But it's kind of a shame. I just look at it like, dang, dude, why'd you have to do that, man?
But you know why he did it? Because when Maurice Green did it, everybody loved it, and it wasn't like what Randy or Ocho did, where they did something and then it was a big backlash and whatnot. When Maurice Green did it, everybody loved it and there was no problem. But now all of a sudden it's a problem. But in the same place, you could be a man and compete against women, and that's totally fine. So people are kind of confused. It's like, all right, well, what can I actually do? What can I not do? What's okay? What's not okay?
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, like I said, I agree with you. And it's a mess, man. The whole world that we live in is I agree with you though. Like the rules are, it's kind of. I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. It's like what do I say? I can't even think of what it is. It's, do as I say, not as I do, or whatever in the world. I don't even know. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man. Yeah, so it's crap, man. I don't believe, like I said, I don't believe in the men and women sports thing, and I think it was dumb that dude threw it out there, and I think it's dumb that they're taking it to the extreme. They shouldn't even have took it to the extreme, and they should have gave her first place gold off that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Good show tonight, man. I'll holler at you, dog. Peace out.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right, shout out to Boom Howard for the call. And that will be a wrap for me. I will see y'all again live on Saturday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm also here on Tuesdays. Not here. I'm on Instagram on Tuesdays, going live right around 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., right around that time. So y'all check me here on Saturday, Instagram on Tuesday, and I'm also here. I'm on Facebook. I'm on everywhere all throughout the week putting out my content. So shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me. I appreciate it. Great show tonight. You guys are fantastic. Couldn't have done it without y'all. Shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do without you. I cannot do the show without you. And thank you to all the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all as well. I got one super chat to read, then I wrap it on up and put the bow clean on top. Thank you to Dark Green Marine, who says, when it comes to AI replicating you, all they do is upload undressed of yours with, bro, who wrote this? Did AI write this? Good grief. I'm just playing, but kind of not really. All right, let me try to just read this and see what you're trying to say. So basically, it's going to upload videos or whatnot. It'll learn me completely. But see, there's not everything. I could tell it's not going to really be able to learn me completely from my videos because that's just not how it's going to work. You know, people, they come up to me, hey, man, I watch all your videos, and they say something that be totally wrong about me. And then he says, also, where am I at on ICE raids, looking at my old unit in Fallujah? I have no idea what you're talking about. But thank you for your super chat, man. I appreciate you. And thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says, if the fire extinguisher runner was trans, they wouldn't have said a thing. Exactly. They wouldn't have said nothing. Look, if the fire extinguisher runner was transgender, they could have done whatever they want. That's why I said before, being transgender means you could do whatever you want all the time. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I had the fire extinguisher. I sprayed it on my shoes. Yeah, I was out there, no clothes on. Yeah, I did X, Y, and Z. You won't get in trouble because why? You're transgender. Okay, the police arrest you. Get off me. I'm transgender. My fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to go to the bathroom of my choice. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got a picture. And then I'll close with this. And this is a great way to button it up. Thank you, Rebel Without a Reason. That was a good comment right there. A good super chat right there. But this is going to kind of button it up, put the bow clean on top if I can find it in time, which I know I will be able to. And shout out to you guys again for being here. You guys are the best. Y'all know I couldn't do it without you. But the Transformers, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so this person right here, speaking about Disney, this guy right here, you see what he's doing. He's in the bathroom taking pictures. He's in the women's bathroom taking pictures. Oh, I'm just a girl. It's just a selfie. All right, you see what it says. Ranking every women's bathroom at Disney World. Imagine a man, listen to the women out there, listen. Imagine a man is in your restroom taking pictures of you. Normally, what's that called? Peeping Tom, something, whatever. Okay, you can't do stuff like that. If I go in the bathroom like this, in the women's bathroom like this, recording stuff, I'm going straight to the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks. But if you're a Transformer, do whatever you want all the time and it's fine. See what I'm saying? That's exactly the point that I'm making. Exactly the point. Perfect. Thank you for what I was. That was a great super chat. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Great show tonight. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.